Good evening, good day, good evening, good good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to another edition of the Closing Argument. Today is December 3rd, 2024. We have 22 more days to Christmas. And also, we have 28 more days for the year 2024 to expire, and 22 more days for Christmas. We want to welcome everyone tonight on the quick closing argument. I don't know if you're in the US. I know if on the East Coast, it must be cold because in my end it's cold here too. Weather is cold and our dress code changed. Everyone changed the dress code now. I see dressing like wearing stuff now because of the weather. But wow, the Makosa is watching from Nyenwolo District, Grenku County. Wow, the Makosa. I would love for you to hook me up with the local radio station in that area, so that we can be able to see how they can simulcast our program live. So please, man, inbox me and connect me with someone that can help. That can simulcast the program. Let me recognize what happened. Yes, Christian Roberts, as usual, is always here first. Hold on a minute. Yes, so let me recognize some of our followers, our viewers who are always here on time. Let me see. Okay, I see. Yomantro Asiru Menza, watching from Minnesota. Gongbe Toure, watching from northern Italy. Of course, Ruth Roberts Pengba. this is still more in trouble. Oh my God. George Watkins Jr., following from his comfort zone of District 13, Montserrat County. James A. Kuyate Jr. From Duboro. James, my man, they pray. They maybe I'm sure someone will find something for the Christmas, man. They pray, man. Things have not been the right way, but we'll talk about it later. I also see my brother Abraham Connor in New Jersey. Look at the other one talking. You guys are still living. McDonald from Yankwe. You're a crazy person to me that kind of comment. What do you mean you guys are still living? Your team closing argument will die down. You go to rescue people now. Rescue. Y'all mean no rescue. We don't rescue. Y'all still talking. You're all right. Hamon Fee. Koyata, I used to remember when I was back in the days in Pinsway. Hamon Fee, our era there. But let me continue. But guys, let me just play some recording, some stuff tonight. Let me add forces small. You know, Prince Johnson just passed away, so we mourning Prince Johnson. But Prince Johnson, let me play some recording of PYJ. Some PYJ recordings. Maybe you can tell what he was saying when he's recording. Listen to it. Listen to PYJ before he died. Oh, how you do the thing, man? You see, I learned old school. I learn my mouse because. But let me play some recording from PYJ. Don't listen to.
Exactly. Yo. That's why email send it.
I'll play some gossip, some late gossip from PYJ before he would die. So y'all can judge. Yeah, these things, these tips. No. Give me a few minutes. Let me get my mouse. I need my mouse. I know where I will be fine. Let me get my mouse. I'm sorry. Okay, let me play some stuff of Prince Johnson, man. Let me play some Prince Johnson stuff. Some recordings, though. Everybody got their own story with PYJ. Okay. Okay.
Exactly. Yo. That's why even Kenneth will return. Every senator will give it 3 minutes or so to talk about the break. What for your country? What's on your mind? What is happening? And Dylan came on the stage to speak on the pulpit. He said he will bring another bill to reduce our salary. Yeah, he said that. All right. So I put in the chat room. I said, Dylan, the civil colleague, Dylan asked yesterday, he informed us about a pending bill that will reduce our salary. There are burning issues in the country. The rescue mission has started to fail by the misstep they are taking. He's not addressing those. It's in the chat room. He's not addressing those issues. They've made financial malpractices in the past, and now it's even worse. I mentioned in the chat room. Then you want to reduce our salary that we're making by law. By law, yeah, by law. By law, yeah. You're pushing the genuine and law. The genuine people that the genuine, I do. The ministry that we are selling are genuine. The Central Bank, the LTA. You came there and broke everything down by yourself. Supreme Court rule against your went and violated the Supreme Court ruling. Then you went and process money against to LTA. You're not talking about that. You remove the army and put money. You're not talking. You remove the Central Bank and you also have suspended. You have suspended, just put the next in command Sim Bank in charge of the investigation. Yeah. But bringing somebody from outside, you mean you sack the man? You sack the president, yeah. You're not addressing that. But our salary you wanted. Then he replied and said, I will address you accordingly in time. Look at it. Look at it. Yeah. So I said, Dylan, go ahead. Reply. You came here as a labor. Is it Chinese labor? Or we can afford because it's dean. You came here when you say we're making more money. We're riding expensive vehicle. You're riding even more cars than us. More expensive vehicles. Yeah. I'm principal. That guy is a serious problem. Serious one too. I say that pro proximity with the president. When he travels to your go. So all the allowances you're packing, you get money. The budget will pass, they money, the million missing. They want this one. They want shifter, so nobody knows what a shifter is. So you got plenty of money now. That our own money, my lawyer work on. You're not addressing no issue, the roads issue, you're not addressing it. And you have to 22 million to go to face paved road at Georgia already did before. No quota, no nothing. No, I didn't play with him there. You tell with him. You tell with him. And says then he has not replied. I'm waiting for him to reply. Who are behind the so-called Soya wives who are blacking all over the country? As they were Soya wives. How many Soya do we have for their wives to cover the entire country blacking road? And when I seen the line, you group, then you could just call now. Wow. Because they wanted Prince Johnson out. Prince Johnson, yeah. They're caught in the shots. So I told him, I said, Dylan, you're being moving. You came here to fight people. And your fight is not lawful. Exactly. Yo. That's why even Kenneth will return. Every senator will give it 3 minutes or so to talk about the break. What for your country? What's on your mind? What is happening? And Dylan came on the stage to speak on the pulpit. He said he will bring another bill to reduce our salary.
Yeah, he said that.
All right. So I put in the chat room. I say, the civil colleague, asked yesterday, he informed us about a pending bill that will reduce our salary. There are burning issues in the country. The rescue mission has started to fail by the missteps they are taking. He's not addressing those. It's in the chat room. He's not addressing those issues. There have been financial malpractices in the past, and now it's even worse. I mentioned in the chat room. Then you want to reduce our salary that we're making by law.
By law, yeah, by law.
By law.
By law, yeah.
You're pushing the genuine law. The genuine people that the genuine I do. The ministry that we are at genuine, the central bank, the LTA. You came there and broke everything down by yourself. Supreme Court rule against your way and violated the Supreme Court ruling. Then you went and post self-money and to LTA. You're not talking about that. You remove the army and put money. You're not talking. You remove the central bank and you also have suspended. You have suspended, you have put the next in command at the same bank in charge of the investigation.
Yeah.
But bringing somebody from outside, you mean you sack the man.
You sack the president, yeah.
You're not addressing that. But our salary you wanted. Then he replied and said, I will address you accordingly in time.
Look at
Wait
it.
and see.
Look at it.
Yeah. So I said, Dylan, go ahead. Reply. You keep me as a labor. Is it Chinese labor? Or we can about because it's Dean. In Kenya, you say we're making more money. We're riding expensive vehicles. You're riding even more cars than us.
More expensive vehicles than
Yeah. I'm principal.
that guy is a serious problem.
See that one too. I say that pro proximity with the president when he travels to your go. So all the allowances you're packing, you get money. The budget will pass. They money, the million missing. They want this one. They want shifted so nobody knows what they're doing. So you got plenty of money now. Our own money, my lawyer, you want court. You're not addressing no issue, the rules. Issue, you're not addressing it. And you have 22 million to go to face pay road at Georgia already did before. No quota, no nothing. No bid. I didn't play with him there.
You tell with him. You tell with him.
And says then he has not retired, they wouldn't pay to retire. Who are behind the so-called Soya wives who are blocking the all over the country? As they were Soya wives. How many Soya do we have for their wives to cover the entire country blocking road? The one that is in the line, now. Because they wanted Prince Johnson out.
Prince Johnson, yeah.
They put in the shots. So I told him, I said, Dylan, you're being moving. You came here to fight people. And your fight is not lawful.
Hello?
Henry?
Yeah, man.
My son, you made mistake.
What's that?
I heard you last night, me and go indeed to move over. Absolutely, after the whole election, I'm in my corner. If you hear my preaching most Sunday, you will conclude that I'm right. Will you rescue as a nomenclature after winning? The broadcaster don't even answer my phone. They don't pick me up. They don't let me down. They don't even have time. I don't talk. Yeah, I don't talk because God knows why it's happening. And everything I will accept it because our son Kun is vice president to him for Nima. If Nima people will not understand if I start hating on Boyka.
You're right.
The Fernando Kofa, the woman I have my word that Fernando Kofa first cousin.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You both don't know this, but when you were talking last night, but I don't have. Look, let me tell you, nobody in the republic, somebody just no lawmaker in this country though they got their own money, but to take their own money again to 40 or 47 or 41 number of lawmakers to remove a speaker or a protest is not the work of any lawmaker, it must be the work of the executive.
Okay.
It's not immoral. What the interest we all have to give money to people?
Okay.
That's my mute.
It's comprehensive report of their findings and attach the Supreme Court ruling and the amnesty law and everything. And the position statement for those commissioners who decided on body to where. They said the way forward is a Palabra discussion for peace. Then when Braga come now, he is deceived by coming there, the Dillon there, Lumbi there, and you know where he's just taking all kind of way, Braga, all kind of thing. You want to go after people? Then, you know, the CDC still control the lower house, the upper house.
Mm-hmm.
So they went talking away, talking of thing they did, but I think they did a resolution that passed. Yeah, because of money problem.
Yeah.
Then they sent it to the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
Then something happened. Wow. All that they almost signed to Yombi house. Then they brought it that Tuesday morning. They didn't tell me they had it for me. Oh. Then when I heard what was happening, it was remain 2 persons to sign. That was me, that was Barney, Jim Barney. And when I went to Guar, I said, what is going on? You were here when we had sent paper, and you were here with our own leadership, and we sent the report with all documents, legal documents, to Garguah. Then Braga benefited from the 2010 decision by the Supreme Court to be involved in the election in 2011. Because he was not wrong with that.
You're right.
He benefited.
You're right.
Then after serving as Bible for 12 years now, he's now president now. We finish campaign for that kind of woman, then he wants to persecute us. He's not going to persecute us. So what is going on with Kong? Then Kong said, well, what I will do for you is to help you with lawyer. Get 5,000, go look for lawyer. It was from Kong office, my own son office that I went and signed a resolution. I never said to them, why y'all did this? You know what they told me?
No.
Resolution is not a law. So, starting the resolution, I mean, we agree. Bring it now. When Braga send a bill, they will not put all the law they put in now and back it.
Oh, okay. That was a trap move.
I said, correct move. Yeah, correct move.
Guys, simply move this give me away from that. Well, guys, welcome again to Johnny and Abu. You see PYJ listening. You know, they say the man, there's somebody died against it a lot, but the man in his own voice. So I think I saw they don't do today in the Senate. You know, talking different thing here. You just say you try to do the pay. You say you're gonna fire him, do all kind of stuff. Then he talked about he talked about the tenure position, how they treated, how they did the tenure position, how they put their own people there just to get rid of the people. He said they talk about road, the road that Joe we have been fixing. I said I was saying yesterday they didn't plan it, but the president said road that Joe we have been fixing. I road say you're fixing again. Then you're spending money for road that you say Joe we didn't fix. Then he talked about the war crimes court. He said they play game, they trap burger. Then they say you go sign it. He signed it. Now send that time you see what happened in the war crime court. They just stop right there. But look, I just wanted to start a show like this, man. You know, right now Prince PYJ just died. I will miss you. There are many times I would just call him so now and get him hard time. Say he myself, we had a heated argument on Spoon. For that time, he and I we made peace. On Spoon that time, on the court, then I said, where's your body? He said, where crying my body to? So he and I went back and forth. On a little on, he said, my son, a lot of things happened in the country, in the war. You were small at that time, you know. I said, I knew what happened in the war. But again, like I always say, to some people he's a hero, some people he's a villain. It depends on however he interacted with him. Is how you will portray him. You're gonna remember him. But what here from you, man? Abu, welcome. People are just on your man Dylan, on your man Boyka. Oh, Abu, what yeah? Been on Dylan, he on Boyka, he on everybody. What yeah, man, are you people? Man, so in other words, you people don't treat the man good.
Never seems to be bad. I don't know.
It never bad. Yeah, man. It never bad. Yeah, man. Sorry, man. But you're in charge of the country now, man. The network should be efficient, man. Man, you whole manager at the port there. You're not small, man.
I'm manager.
You beat me.
Yeah, but thank you.
I've seen your office before, but you don't want running things.
Yeah, but
brother.
We got the money. Yeah, but
man. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be here to discuss, in the interest of an exuberant supporter, an exuberant youthful supporter of the Unity Party, but it still doesn't say that I cannot be objective. The late Senator Prince Johnson was a controversial figure, though. Don't forget to monitor.
I agree.
I'm going to send you Pretoria. I'm going to send you Pretoria validating that one of how many daughters
he own a voice.
Yeah, for your own page, you are extending gratitude to the president for appointing folks from Nimba. I think one Dabat Johnson. So I don't know who's one of the doctor he's talking about that the senator they don't highlight it onto the
They don't talk about one daughter called Crystal.
Oh, okay. Because the president appointed somebody, one of his daughters, as an assistant. So if Senator did not see that Senator Johnson expressed frustration over the way President Barker was not responding to a call. I don't know who's on the call talking about, because President Barker has appointed many sons and daughters of Nimba. So I don't know. But again, he was a controversial.
But Abu, let me tell you this though. Prince Johnson, I'm sure that's why he's trying to reconcile with Weah before he passing, because with Weah, he had a lot of say. In fact, for the record, when Weah became president, Prince were allowed to single-handedly recommend most of the appointments for Nima County for President Weah. And I know he can regret that the relationship ended the way during elections, which made him support the rescue. But I can tell you, he had to do it over. He would tell you, I would have gone back to my Weah, to support Weah, because Weah treated him different, better as compared to how the rescue treated him. And he's like somebody said just now, he didn't die. I don't think he died happy. I don't think he died happy, man. I think he was frustrated. A lot of things are wrong with the old man. He wasn't happy, because my last interaction with him, when I told him, I said, but Senator, what happened? You're not talking anything happening. He told me, he sent me the message. He said, my son, Liberia is on a stormy sea. I'm watching from afar. Yeah.
Yeah, well, is it the money? The late senator was a staunch supporter of President Weah. I think 1 or 2 years prior to the 2023 elections, he was, asserting he would play on, at the time, the pro-government station, the Freedom FM, when he was referred to Barker as being an ungrateful person. So he was a controversial figure. My religion tells me not to discuss ill about somebody who is already a dead person. So I don't want to delve into whether he lived. He has already gone. But that gave me a befitting burial instead of discussing.
Yeah, he said, my son, I'm quiet for now, observing national issues. Liberia is still on stormy sea. Then I said, thank you. Thanks for keeping the peace. and continue being an elder in the room. He said, "Thanks so much, my son, for your understanding." Yeah, but
but listen now,
yeah,
if you are quoting the late Senator Prince Johnson, if you are quoting the late Senator Prince Johnson, which in my mind I don't want to delve into, the conversation the both of you have, because it's something called confidentiality. I think that should be uphold. But we have more sons and daughters in this administration than the we are administration. We have ministry land agency that is being headed by sons of Nima County. The Ministry of Labor is headed by sons of Nima County. We have the NSC. NSC is being controlled by one of the sons of Nima. We have so many ministers in the rest of the government.
You say where?
NSC.
Okay.
Yeah,
NSA, okay.
Prince Johnson the third. Prince Johnson the third. Unlike President, we are administration. You barely name three ministries or agencies that were occupied or headed by son of Nima or Nima.
We talk. The same minister of labor. We are having at transport, I think.
Exempting him. He named somebody now at Ministry of Post and Telecommunication is from Nimba. One Sekou Kumar. You have the NSA boss is from Nimba. Sekou Kumar is from Nimba. The NSA boss is from Nimba. The Minister of Labor is from Nimba. We have few deputies that are from Nimba. Unless President, we are administration. Many of them were occupying.
But we are allowed to recommend people the Nima County, the local officials there. The people they get to feel their presence in the government when at a local level, not from national level. Get where the opportunity is local, and don't forget. So those whoever he appointed in Nima came from the recommendation of Prince Johnson.
President, we are administration.
Yeah, no. Let me tell you
now.
I will not forget. The problem is Prince Johnson and we are on good terms. The problem, I think, when my gig, but Ben said yesterday, when my gig got sanctioned, things changed a little bit because Prince used to deal with my gay and few people, but when he saw other people coming in the conversation, he was not comfortable with that, and so forth. How come he drew back? But if there's somebody said yesterday he had to do it over, PYG, if he thinks it, you want to support, you think I'll come out and support, and I won't support JMB because we are doing more good than JMB.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
We are not black and number. The man said JMB black and number for him. He said in
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Oh yeah, he said in the chat. He said this is not quite the man black and number. I can get hold of him. He said,
yeah, but let me take you back to the recommendation you're talking about that has to do with leadership. He said the late senator recommended folks and President we are at the time acted. So now you leaving out Jeremiah Makudo. He's being the vice president. I don't want to believe that the president will take a recommendation from another president more powerful than Jeremiah Kun, because Jeremiah Kun being not just a son to the late Prince Johnson, but he's somebody who was nurtured by him. Vigorous campaign for him to become vice president, and we are witnesses to that. So how can you say that the late senator was frustrated with the way appointment went at the local level?
But you just heard the man's own voice. Yeah. You heard the guy in your own voice complaining. He said the rescue cannot do. We take the post for a 10-year job. He had problem with it. He even talked about the removal of the president in your 14 to remove and Kofa. He said it. He said was clear. He said to get for the second person to sign resolution to remove the speaker. Where the money coming from? He said executive. He said executive involved. He said it. He said executive. So there's no secret that they attempt to remove Kofa, and the president is not aware. He's involved. He's aware. He's involved.
No, the president is not involved. This president is not involved. We witnessed. Yes, I come in. No, the president.
Welcome, Sarah.
Yeah,
The president is not involved. But yes, before our sister come in, right? You have one of the anti-government, the anti-Bwaga supporter, because even though he was in bed with us, but I think 2 months of the elections, he declared support for President We are, if a campaign for President We are. That is Henry Costa. Henry Costa had a podcast and even blasted folks from the CDC, and not to accuse President Joseph Bwaga of being the mastermind regarding the removal of Funadi Kofa. So I'm not the one who's saying I'm quoting Henry Costa though.
Go Acosta, you Acosta right now today. What you saying? You will not say to say that Bwaga not involved.
Until 10, the public believe because he has followers.
Yeah, but you need rocket science to, or you need rocket science, or you are listening to Costa who believe that Bwaga involved.
This president will have conformity with the law of this country. Get that right, Tomalin. He's not involved.
What?
He will have conformity with the law of our country.
The president, he did not say a word until he went to Sierra Leone. Then when he broke his silence, he said, "What happened in the house? That legislative politics."
You want the president to interfere?
But he affects his agenda. Okay, Abu said the president affects the agenda. The budget now is still stalled.
Like I said on the platform yesterday, Supreme Court is the final arbiter of law. Why can't we wait for the Supreme Court to adjudicate this matter instead of accusing the president?
How you doing? Anyway, I'm not gonna be here for long. Today's my birthday. I'm going out with my family.
Oh, happy birthday, Sarah! Happy birthday, man!
Thank you. Gonna be going out for dinner, so I'm just here for a little bit. Thank you so much for the show. Yeah, thank you, Abu. You say your president is in conformity with which law? Your president, our president Joseph Boakai, the very Supreme Court rendered a decision on the tenure position. What did he do? Did he follow that? Did he follow the Supreme Court ruling on the tenure position? The next day, the next couple of days, what he did, he suspended the people for time indefinite and put his own people there. So what kind of the law you talking about here? Abu, you guys got feel?
No, let me answer the question. You talk about the president did not honor the verdict of the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
The president honored a verdict from the Supreme Court, and in fact, the executive management did a release to substantiate that this president honored the ruling from the Supreme Court. The reason
so then why they suspended the people later?
I come in. The reason for which Israel Akisai, my own brother, and the other commissioners were suspended was because of financial improprieties. And that audit report was not the audit report that was conducted. It was not the audit that was conducted by us. That audit report that we inherited. Go to the GSE.
So the financial impropriety will take forever to be resolved. They don't have a report. They don't have a solution of what happened.
One of them resigned. So one of them resigned. Are you not aware that one of them
resigned because they were under pressure to resign. We know the politics behind it. Nobody's stupid. We know the politics behind it. No, they resigned because they were under pressure to resign.
No, not so. Not so. It were under pressure to resign.
The president, with all due respect to the president, he has not been following no due process. Anything that comes from the Supreme Court towards this government, they have not respected it. You know that. Don't come sit on here and come lie to all yeah. They have not respected the Supreme Court at all. We are only waiting to see if this other ruling comes. If they don't play politics with it, whatever it will be, whether they will honor it. Because the president knows that all of the things that have been doing through with regard to the removal of the speaker, it's not done legally. It's not done according to due process. But he won't wear the other side with the so-called majority, taking budget and carrying it to them. Instead of presenting the budget to the speaker, he presenting it to somebody else. You're gonna be honest with the Liberian people here, Abu. Seriously.
Let me come in though. The budget presentation is who rarely receive communication from the both of us. Isn't it clerk?
Who he presented it to before?
Isn't it clerk? I'm asking
no, who he presented the other budget to before they won? Wasn't it the speaker office?
You should be answering me instead of asking me a question.
No, I'm asking you because I'm trying to make you answer your own question.
Isn't it clear that I receive communication at the legislature?
Not all the time. I don't think it's the clerk that always receive information.
Is it clear? listen, it is a clerk that even read communication in plenary. So how can you say that the president did not add in confirmation?
So the previous budget, whose office was it presented to?
There is no law.
Budget.
I'm not
it
a
was
legal
presented to the office of the speaker. It was not presented to no clerk. And the speaker was addressed. The speaker was addressed in that communication, wasn't it?
Whose communication are you talking about?
The previous budget.
At the time, there was no dispute. There was no internal wrangling at the legislature.
So what?
There was no
the first time, then why the president wrote the speaker and said, October 31st, you have been a submission of the budget. He said, it might get up to November 8th. Yeah, but then he wrote the speaker now. He addressed the letter to the speaker. Then from there, the second time now, they addressed it to the clerk. I heard just today before I found out, I think they finally decided to take the budget and give it out to the speaker, who now submit. I mean, that'd be frank. The speaker, the president, he's being involved in this thing, man. You cannot.
He's not involved, money. I think he's being unfair to the president. The president is not involved. But here is it, right? You talk about the president writing the speaker prior to submitting the budget, gave him time to further prepare the budget, right? At the time you're talking about, there was no internal wrangling at the legislature.
It doesn't matter. He still needs to follow the procedure.
In the budget he passed when you don't have form. You need to conduct before.
Even if the internal wrangling was there, he still needed to recognize the speaker because he had not been removed officially. He still needed to go through the same process. But the fact that he was supporting legal, that's the reason why he did what he did.
Tonight, I acknowledge that Funati is still a speaker. I will be dumb to say that. Tonight, I know that Funati is still a speaker. Funati is the embattled speaker. He's the embattled speaker. I will be dumb to say that he's not a speaker. But tomorrow, I'm told the Supreme Court will be handing down a final ruling to this matter. Until then, we see. But I don't want people questioning the credibility of the court. This is the same court that have heard many rulings. We honor even.
So let me ask you: tomorrow, if the court ruled that the lawmakers should return to status quo ante, they should return to the session on the Garguah or Kofa, and they should, if they want to, if they still want to remove him, to go through the process where he recuse himself and give him the opportunity to be heard. And if someone then refuses and say that they're not going to do it, what they did in the issue with Snow and Tyler issue, where when the Supreme Court ruled, they still insisted that they wasn't going to listen to the Supreme Court. Will you support them for doing that?
Money.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, 40 plus representatives, 40 plus of Funati colleagues have declared no confidence in his leadership. Even prior to his arrival, when at the time we saw Papi Flomo and Frank Safoko and Marvin Cope preventing Tomo Fala and the anti-Funati lawmakers from going into the timber, for that very day, those guys that were prevented from going into the timber said they cannot be guaranteed safety when they are sitting under the gavel of Funati. So agree that Funati may recuse himself, or Supreme Court rules tomorrow and say you go back to status quo ante. What may happen? Do not forget, in retrospect, on what happened regarding the removal saga of Tyler and that of Snow. Guys said they were not going to sit on a gavel because the same person who presides as the rule and order was not with them. Similar with the current Funati man. The man who is serving as rule, the man who is serving as chair for rules and order. On the side, he was seen in a live video assaulting his friend, not just a friend, but a ranking member of the 55th legislature, who is Tomo Fala, the deputy speaker. So,
okay, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Abu?
Yeah.
So do you think that what happened during the time of snow removal and Tyler removal, do you think the process was fair or it was due process? It was by the law? Because I can remember during that time, the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Tyler or snow. So do you think that was fair?
All impeachments are political. And notice that.
No, that's not
All,
the answer to my question. I
all
said, do you think the Supreme Court ruling for Tyler and Snow back then, do you think it was fair?
I would not question the legality of the court or the credibility of the court. I'm not a legal luminary. They know how to interpret the law.
No, in your own common sense now. In your own common sense, do you think it was fair based off
but as you have five to prove the Supreme Court contrary.
What?
As you have five to my disposal to question the ruling of the Supreme Court.
So in essence, okay, then I agree. So in essence, you're telling me that the Supreme Court was right for the way for the verdict they rendered during the Tyler and the Snow case because they did it based off the law. So today you are saying now that these guys don't have confidence in Fonati Kofa. They can say
that's what they are saying.
Okay, I agree. But if that is what they are saying, so are they not guided? Are they not guided by rules and regulations that they're supposed to go through the process, even if they don't trust the speaker to be able to remove him? So are they not supposed to go through due process to remove him, even if they don't trust him?
But let me come in, right? Let me come in.
Yeah, asking you.
It will be unfair to the audience. It will be unfair to the audience to run out judgment into the matter.
I'm not rendering judgment. I'm only asking you a question. We're trying to understand each other here. So I'm not rendering any judgment.
The question you're asking, if I may get you right, you said, will those guys, or why is it that those guys are not giving due process to Fonati when the law calls that I got to call him due process? And that's what he said?
Right. I'm asking, yeah.
So here's my point, right? Those three guys, the anti-Fonati bloc, have said numbers. They have made themselves unequivocally clear that they won't sit under the gavel of Fonati because their life has been threatened. That's what
I agree. I agree. So what process do they go through to get him out?
That's a political process they're using.
No, there are rules and regulations.
That's a political process they're using.
It's not about political process. It's about the rules and regulations. The political process. No, listen to me now. The political process has to do with the ramification or the rumblings they have to do behind the scene to get the number they have to get him out. After they have gotten those numbers, they have to acquire him due process. That's it. If they got 49, why they don't acquire him due process? I agree. There's a political side to it. That is, they have to. Then the way we saw them, they were giving people 15,000, doing this one, getting people involved just so people can sign the resolution.
You don't have evidence to substantiate that. Why do you need it? Yes.
That's video to the thing. You say I don't have evidence. What is wrong with you? That's video to it.
I think that was diversionary tactics that did not work. To see
diversionary tactics where there was video showing. There was video showing that these guys were giving 15,000. They had even carried up to 50,000, 75,000.
Okay, there were two ministries. I think there were two ministries, heads and accused by the true Fonati folks. It includes the Water and Sewer, the Ministry of Transport. The Water and Sewer boss did an open letter to LACC that is open to an investigation.
And up to now, what happened? The LACC investigate?
LACC is an independent entity. Don't you know that?
Because you guys are told LACC to shut up. You didn't listen to Jerry Lingapia. You didn't listen to Jerry Lingapia when you were talking about LACC. They told them to shut up.
I think what too many that go ahead, man.
Well, yeah. Anyway, again.
But when are you trying to dismiss me? I'm saying something to you. You tell them to go ahead. You must say that's something important.
Today's her birthday. Like, be careful with the lady, man. Today her birthday. Man, today we want today. Today we want that will be great.
Happy birthday, Sarah. What are you doing for that birthday? What are you doing?
Thank you. I think my kids and I are going out to eat. That's all. I'll be doing a pepper soup session. I'll be doing a pepper soup session sometime on the weekend.
Wow.
The last time I was in Delaware and I didn't see you. I sent you a message, you didn't pick up.
Oh no, I didn't see your message.
Whatever. You did it on purpose, but that's okay.
Oh, Ben. My son needed Ben.
Maybe they are just CDC. They are just CDC. Maybe you answer my phone call.
You wanted to know about CDC. They play Abu. You want to hear about CDC? You want to hear?
No, but I know y'all can't listen to Prince Johnson's and some of his recordings. We were playing it earlier.
He took us back.
There were new ones playing again just about 30 minutes ago. I was listening. There were new ones.
Wow.
Played by one guy, interview him. The same day he died. One guy interviewed him. That same evening, one guy interviewed him. That one is even worse.
What?
I mean, like he went,
they're trying to. I got everything. They want gain on the big funeral.
But you know what?
I'm trying to cut you off, right? I'm not cutting you off. These people yesterday on Spoon TV, they took a whole show to discuss about we are not shaking Kun here and Tom Lick or text the God. I hope they will take a whole show today to discuss we as response to that shaking hand thing, okay? So that they can get to understand from where he came from with that. And also, they can take a whole show to play all of Prince Johnson recordings so the world can know that the Boaka government used Prince Johnson and dash him. That's what they did.
But you know, one thing that surprised me was Darius DeLong. I know the guy; he's not the smartest guy. I mean, when it comes to education wise, he's not a smart guy. But I don't know who advised him. That statement he made when the Senate a while, it was so ill-advised. Look, let me take that man's statement apart. In the first place, ethically, as a senator, what is the ethics of you telling people that you're looking for a job for somebody? You're the one that's supposed to be scrutinizing people. Like, you think guys sometimes, what they be thinking? How will you say this?
People are playing. They are playing on the gullibility of our people.
I know why they don't. I know why he had to prove it. Why he had to say all that.
They're playing on the gullibility of our people.
These are things that you say in the back room. You don't bring. We know you're running the government. We know that one, but you can't come and say it. And by the way, if Prince Joseph could not have a job for his daughter, that he had to go to DeLong, who used to scare him with war crime code, that shows you how much Jeremiah Cohn snubbed Prince Johnson. Because look, there is a difference between one job for his friend, but man, for his daughter, that he had to go to a DeLong. Man, come on, Jeremiah Cohn to be ashamed. That is, oh my God, I don't like Prince Johnson, but that was so. And DeLong, this time of the man's death. And the man's daughter, why would he even put that kind of thing out? Like that thing make him to look so bad, to look so inhuman, that the man's daughter was coming to you to beg you for a job. Because he's not experienced, all he thought he was saying that to make them look good. But instead, oh my God, that thing, in fact, I felt bad for the guy, for the level of ignorance that the man has expressed. I am so sad. Like, come on, man. Come on, dude, you can be this now.
Well, Abu, they had a favorite. I thought they are just taking power now. But we listen to the recording that after it was in the middle of the year now.
So that the audience can see though.
Yeah, but he pretty much wrote it here February 29. And he was expressing frustration just recent times. They are just taking power in February. So they were all honeymoon still on until they start seeing it. But what happened today in the Senate? They don't. If our Kun are we having problem with Dillon? What Dillon did?
Oh yeah. Oh, he made Kun look bad. So
bad. He look bad. They'll say, "Oh, Premier General go to him."
And they tell me Kun lose.
Because why would Premier General go to Dillon? Okay, and the vice president is more like his son. Okay, he would have gone to if he should have said, "I will take care of this one." Why would go to Dillon to find a job for his daughter and to be crying? Dillon be making able to say. There was no hope, only hope.
It's not even a friend of. This is a close family member.
In this government, somebody as an assistant minister. I can't send you the post. Please, I just send you screenshot of that stuff. Can you please?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it, but in February he was telling Boga, "Thank you for appointing some Nima people." But a low position.
That's February. Talking about February.
The man, the recording will play. The man talking in recently. He talked, my man. Abu, let's be frank. Let's face reality.
Like I said, he was a controversial figure, though. So I don't want to tell into that. That was the same thing that made
he was a controversial figure, but you're talking votes, you're using, you're allowing him. Waka said he was going to sleep with the devil, which he did. You're allowing him to join you and to get you to put you in power. And he's talking about saying he was a we all agree he was a controversial figure, but he gave you the power. He actually because of his Nima County vote actually made Waka to be president today. So for you to do what you did to him, to abandon him, it says a lot about the rescue mission.
It will be deceptive on my part to now acknowledge the role Prince Johnson played. He was one of the contributors. He was one of the contributors to Joe Biden president. But here's my point. When I say there's a controversial figure,
I will listen to his more.
He said he will bring another bill to reduce our salary.
Yeah, he said that.
All right. So I'm
but I listen to last night, money.
No, that new one.
Our audience need to listen to it.
The civil police, Dillon asked yesterday, he informed us about a pending bill that will reduce our salary. There are burning issues in the country. The rescue mission has started to fail by the missteps they are taking.
Mm-hmm.
He's not addressing those. It's in the chat room. He's not addressing those issues. There have been financial malpractices in the past, and now it even worse. In the chat room.
Hey, yo.
Reduce our salary that we're making by law.
Mm-hmm. By law, yeah, by law.
By law.
By law, yeah.
You're preaching the tenured law. The tenured people that the tenured, I do. The ministry that we are selling are tenured. The Central Bank, the LTA. You came there and broke everything down by yourself. Supreme Court ruled against you. You went and violated the Supreme Court ruling. Then you went and put 6 Monday against to LTA. Mm-hmm. You're not talking about that. You remove the army and put it in the You're not talking. You remove the central bank and you also have suspended. You have suspended. You have put the next in command same bank in charge of the investigation.
Yeah.
But bringing somebody from outside, you sack the man.
You sack the person, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're not addressing that. But our salary you wanted, then we address you accordingly.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah. So I said, Dillon, go ahead. Reply. You came here as a labor. Is it Chinese labor? Or we can about where you doing? You came here when you say we're making more money. We're riding expensive vehicles. You're riding even more cars than us.
More expensive vehicles than
yeah. I'm principal.
That guy is a serious problem.
Serious one too. I'm saying that close proximity with the president. When you travel, you go. So all the allowances you're packing, you get money. The budget will pass. The money, the million missing. They want this one. They want shifter, so nobody knows where the shifter is. So you got plenty of money now. Our own money, my lawyer, you want court. You're not addressing no issue, the rules. Issue, you're not addressing it. They got 22 million to go face pay road at Georgia already did before. No quota, no nothing. No, I didn't play with him there.
You tell with him. You tell with him.
It says then he had not replied. I'm waiting for him to reply. Who are behind the so-called Soya wives?
I don't want to record it now. The host in cash show.
That's what the way have for the wife to cover the entire government room.
We got one place on the hypocrisy. Yeah, how the man was. How the
Well,
man.
they won't, I wouldn't want to hear.
I want to address
the hypocrisy.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We have an opposition senator because they're listening to the Reverend Johnson say the 22 million. The Minister of Public Works have said this in all of the media engagement that he did not spend 22 million. They get that right. He did not spend 22 million. Our sister who birthday is today.
How much he spent?
I come in. Our sister who birthday is today, and once more happy birthday, right? I wish you all the best. Your senator,
thank you.
One of the partisans, one of the staunch supporters, so pen up, said you can wear a wetsuit and leave on Moreover and enter Grand Gilead on the same day.
Okay, let's forget about Zopiano. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Is it
Did
true?
he go there? Did he go there?
No, my man. When someone says something, you see, look, let's be honest to ourselves.
Let me learn.
We can play the politics later. Can you wear a brown suit and travel from Moravia to go to Grenada and return?
What you were saying,
but did he even go there? He could have been
what he was saying was not true.
They go there, though. They go there. Senator Penal, they go there.
So was that true?
You have to give an experience.
It's not true.
No, it doesn't mean when you see you should wear
we're supposed to lie on the show of the truth.
You know the United Party came. The United Party came to power. But it's getting difficult for you guys to rule on lies. You can't, because reality is reality. You can't continue to lie to the people.
Your senator spoke to his supporters, spoke to citizens of Grand Gilead County, one of the most talented.
I listened to his speech. I did.
Exactly.
Okay, exactly. So the following week, let me catch you right. That the following week, they were calling him to go to Grand Gilead in white suit. Why he didn't go? Because the time he made that statement, the road was a little bit okay. That when he
it was okay.
Okay, it was okay. But the following week, why he didn't go when they were calling him to go?
Wait. I want to believe this young man. I want to believe that very young. Look, my young man, even whether there was war, there is not war. You cannot doing all the normal time in the war in Liberia. You can't drive. So because I want to defeat that fake argument trying to bring up, doing what things were okay. There was no way you would drive from Monrovia to Grand Gilead in a white suit, not even in a brown suit.
It can happen.
It's not possible. The roads were all dusted road. There has always been.
Thank you. Dusted.
That road, one of the that road was accessible.
I don't
care. Even
people were traveling to Aricos. What do you mean, Chief? People travel to Aricos. Are you not aware of that?
What is the statement from the lawmaker? You said the lawmaker said you can travel from Montreal to Grand Gilead in a wetsuit. And I asked you, is that true?
It just validated the assertion I made earlier that honor our tenure in office, the first 3 months, we were able to make the Southeast accessible to the people of Southeast. That's what I said.
Oh, so even though that is a lie, but let's just agree for the
It's not a lie, bro. What do you mean by what? Those are what you said.
So are you saying that when Bwaka said that I will make the he was saying that he would have done that for 3 months? Is that what he was saying?
President Bwaka did not tell you, man. Unfortunately, we lost him.
But Abu,
Yeah,
do
yeah,
you really think in your mind, right?
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
really think in your mind that our country, our people have been going through so much, especially with the road condition, right? People found it so difficult to bring stuff from over there.
It's
You
happening
think,
though. You can't
eh?
attribute that to President Boakai. That's one
No,
thing.
no, no.
It's
Let me learn now. Let me learn now. You don't know where
all
I'm
right.
going with the
Today
conversation.
your birthday, go ahead. Speak
I'm
out.
not. I'm not. You don't have to announce my
Yeah.
birthday. I'm not trying to attribute it to President Boakai, but let me tell you what I'm trying to say here. Um,
Mhm.
our people have been going through a lot. Since I didn't know Charlie Kingston, we have not had good roads, dusty road. You know what it means for people to inhale dust for the rest of their life? Is life threatening. So if President Boakai, when President Boakai made that statement that in 100 days no car will get stuck on the road, I think, I think your public works minister, was supposed to be honest to the president. Because taking even if they didn't use all of the $8 million, I mean all of the $22 million, according to what I heard, they said they used $8 million. Don't you think it's a waste? It's a waste. If you're gonna do something, do it right. Do it right. Okay, they said that when they fixed the road for a short time, I think it was just for a week or two. The road went right back to the worst condition ever. That was a waste of money, Abu. If you're gonna do something, do it right. Our people have been struggling for road. How long will it take for you to put all that money together and give them quota road? Then for you to go put some kind of dust all on the road, make it smooth for it to be pliable for just 1 week. Then you come back and say, oh, the road is good now. People can wear white shirt. But guess what? The next day it was in the worst condition. That's a
Let me
waste
come
of
into
money. That's a
it
waste of
was
money.
a short term, it was a short term solution. The long term solution, as you have seen in a national, either in a draft budget, the public work minister with the minister of finance allocated enough funds to ensure that those roads in the southeast, if not completing 100%, but we can ensure that our farmers will bring their goods into the city
How?
because you know,
How? By giving them
come,
plowable
come,
road instead of quota road?
but giving them what?
Pliable. You have made the roads pliable
We
for you
got
to
to
pave the road with
pavement.
quota.
That's not pavement.
So, for me, I am not I'm not against my country. If President Boakai government want to do something for our people, let them do it right. Don't stop all the shenanigans, all the showmanship, wanting to please the old man with tangibles and this and that. And at the end of the day, there's squandering continue. They see squandering the old man talk about when they were in early government. I see you squander resources. You get resources, put it into use that will benefit our people. Not to come and look at that cleaner where you say you're dedicated under that maternity wall. That thing not a maternity wall to you, Abu. That thing is that's a shame for the rescue team. It's a shame. The building is horrible. There's addicted to the back. They went and put, okay, you want to show solidarity to the first lady, I understand. But is that a way to do it? Y'all got that kind of building order, and y'all were brave enough to go take the old man and his wife to carry him to that kind. But Ben, that maternity wall look like something good to you.
But Mr. Boakai is not used to good things. You saw when he was taking care of the group of
weak, man.
when he was taking care of the group of 77, you saw how he left it dirty. So I mean, he's a dirty old man. So it's just obvious.
He's our president. I will not say that and say.
No, I mean, that means some of the things that the people look. There's certain things you have to do that will represent you, that make you stand out. Like you had a whole group of 77. Get that money, see how he left that place. Today, here we are again, opening another maternity center, looking at some kind of a just look like a crack house, as I would call that.
I'm telling you, that's a hut. That does not befit our people. That does not
That's a
befit
cracker.
anything where somebody is supposed to go get or deliver a baby and have a decent, maternity care. That place looks like a hut. This is wrong. And you treat our people like they're nothing. That's wrong. And they were sitting out yesterday criticizing everything about the weird government, only for them to come to power and be doing the kind of shameful things. Very shameful, man.
LIBO, we're not giving up.
So Sarah,
It's
so
shameful.
you
How
say,
you doing, Peabody? Dr. Peabody.
Good to see you. Well, it's
this
good to be here.
is Sarah's birthday.
Oh, Sarah, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy
thank
birthday,
you.
Sarah. Happy birthday. But let me also say, guys, we still want to announce the fundraiser coming up for the guys in Liberia. We want to help them. We want to give them a Christmas gift. So we want you to give Little Mike to help the guys in Liberia. We appreciate what you can do. The guys who help us to keep the show going. So we want you. We're going to put this up, and we'll ask you for help. But it's good to be here. I followed this show briefly. I know what Sarah. I hope you have a great birthday today. I hope your family take you out and
Thank
have
you.
a nice dinner and enjoy it. Pray for many more years of birthday for you.
Amen.
So,
Thank you.
yeah. But Robert, Ruth, we're going to next Sunday. Going to visit Grace at her home for her brother. So hopefully we'll see her next week. She's still going through some difficult time over the.
Where does she live?
Hopefully we'll go there next
York.
week. But I followed the conversation. Look, guys, I will say this. I would like Liberian. Sometimes we just have big mouth when we get out there to our Liberian people. When others are in power and doing things, we sit there and criticize them, call them names, call them rogue. But we come there to do the same old thing. We come there to do the same old thing. I mean, watching the luxury party that president they have for he had or who had for him, they have for President Boakai. It was so embarrassing to the country. I was disappointed because that's a man that everybody claimed he'd been in power for 35 years. 40 years. He knew about government. He's not corrupt. There's nothing about him that is corrupt. He's the only one that can change this country. But we sat there and witnessed luxury party the other day. Very luxury party. They are taking money. People are donating money for a sitting president foundation. They were bringing people from the government. Most of the funds that were public service money, because most of the people from the public corporation that were coming and giving money, that the same taxpayer money, that same money Liberian people pay, and they were doing that. It's like for 6 years, all he did accuse President Weah. A guy. This have to the dollar sign yet. Sit there. Said the worst thing about President Weah. Oh, President Weah this, President Weah is that, but he's traveling, he eating the money, he using it, blah, 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 blah. Since this government came into power, from day one, it had been scandal, corruption, scandal, corruption, scandal, corruption, scandal, corruption, all through the $22 million road project. Then they said, we didn't use all, we kept some. So where is it? When they use them, when you had a public works minister who was giving contract to businesses that he probably had share in or he was partner with, that it became so bad that he and his deputy could not even get along. It was so bad. What did the president do? And they brushed that under the wall, right on the floor where we had a DeLong who claimed to be the light. They were there asking for forgiveness of the public work because he violated certain PPC laws and things like that. What happened to that? What happened to the yellow machine saga? All right, nothing came Nothing came out of that one. What happened to the the recovery, the assets recovery? Nothing came out of that. Everywhere you turn, look at the refugee money that were allocated to bring those suffering Liberians from Ghana. Some of them came into Liberia and they took half of the money, they ate it. I was in Ghana this year. My organization spent over $10,000 providing food and water for that camp. In fact, I came back and even met with the vice president on the plot of those people on the camp, sleeping on the bed, on the street, where all the home was demolished and shattered. A little money allocated to bring those people home. The director went there again and stole that money. The next thing we hear, he was suspended, and that will be the end of that case. Nothing will happen.
That's it.
That's it. You're suspended. You sat.
No, but Peabody getting it wrong though.
Go
The
hold on.
president's
Conversation. You got your time to come in. You got your time to come in. Give me a chance.
The president suspended. The
Give me
president
a
suspended.
chance. You know, all that. They sat there. All we hear, they suspended. Nothing happened. And I can go on and on and on with a list of money that have been stolen, a list of things that they are doing. The Wayfarer want to remove Amin Muda because he bought a car. How many people not riding the same car that Amin Muda have in the government? I can name you 4 or 5 people that ride the same car Amin Muda bought. But because Amin Muda own came to light, they made him to resign. But other people still riding it. The police director still ride a very expensive car. Others are still riding very expensive cars. And nothing have been done. But we sat there and put our mouth on president. We are all true. So, I mean, this government have made president. We had to even look damn good. Very good. You see, because the same thing, the luxury party, look at the party they had. And prior to that, the fact that they had a party, they had another big party there for her too. All right? Now they have party. They got a certain animal coming in, walking in the house. Man, I mean, I'm telling you, they take everybody from the public corporation everywhere to come and give money to the foundation that couldn't even pay the 501c bill in Rhode Island. Now the foundation is giving a $400,000 medical supply and all those things in Liberia. And the Liberian people don't even care. A lot don't even care to know where that money is coming from. People are using that foundation now as a money laundering group. Okay? They are using it, pay for play, right? They are using that tool to get jobs. So they are giving money through the foundation so they can get certain contract and certain things. What a shame for our government. I don't know what is going to become. But the government, the rescue has turned out to be more than corrupt and even more than previous administration. More than that. So,
yeah, let me address Peabody. Peabody, if you are following, you'll be one of the presidents among millions of Liberians to commend the president for his courage to tackle corruption. When the allegation was leveled against the president, immediately suspended Patrick Woolsey and subjected him to an investigation. The outcome of the investigation will be made known to the public, and further action will be taken against him. Well, quickly to some of the assertions he made.
Wait. Start from the beginning. Start from the inauguration day allegations. Can you tell me which of them have we had any result of?
But you gotta be definite. So we
I said on the inauguration day, day one, when the president fainted, there was an investigation as to what happened. Has there been anything? Because let me tell you, I am a nurse, all right? So I was speaking as well.
Investigation about the money.
Listen. When you speak, no, you have to give me a chance.
Yeah, Abu speak. Abu speak.
I think everyone of us have.
Abu, you are protected. You are protected.
Yeah. So, like I said, right? Peabody talk about the president not taking action against corrupt officials. I think it has no iota of truth. This president recently suspended the guy from RRC, Patrick Woolsey, for allegedly taking over $1 million that is intended for Liberians who are repatriated into our country. So for somebody to say, yeah, that the same thing that happened in Tampa is happening now. No, it's not happening. What happened in Tampa, Peabody, we have administration at about this time. President, we are breaking down a Nashville resident.
Okay.
You are being convenience in Baptist Seminary.
You serious? What are you talking about? Let's go to rehab resident now. Let's go to that rehab resident now.
Yeah, but you have to give me a chance.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You have to give me a chance. Unlike on our administration, our government officials are not accumulating, getting wealth in less than a year. But on a judge, we are. President, we are you are breaking down his structure. You are breaking down his structure. His wealth, what? I gotta give me a chance. You are saying something.
No, go ahead and talk. Go ahead.
Okay, so like I was saying, unlike on our administration, the president has suspended a couple of individuals. Somebody talk about the president breaking the law. The president is not acting conformity of the law. What do you mean? The TAC audit that goes into desire and enforcement ATA. That audit was not conducted by us. It was conducted by the CDC administration.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Government is continuity.
But like he chance to talk.
The current guy who is there was talking about the CDC. And I'm so grateful to him. What he has done is exemplified professionalism. Does not owe loyalty to anybody. He's doing his work. So when the audit was conducted, the president acted on the audit. Somebody said that the president did not honor the ruling from the Supreme Court. He did honor the ruling from the Supreme Court. And there was an official statement issued on Executive Mansion website regarding the same ruling that the president honored the ruling. But what happened after then? The president was briefed by folks around him that we got an audit report that's indicting Israel Kisai and the rest of the other folks. That what got them removed the president. I got a list senator is telling us that the president removed people from ATA. They was removed because they stole money.
Can I ask you a question? So what happened to the camera guy that is there? Even Spoon TV mentioned about him that he is corrupt. So that's Commissioner LTA. What happened to him? What did you guys do about it?
Okay, I can make comment. Abdullah Kamar have a vocational school. What you got? I think somewhere around the former Unity Party headquarters. They provide a service. A vocational institution provide a service, and the 10th commissioner for ATA, if he acknowledges the role he played, he having to be one of the best when it comes to that fee. So how can somebody say you're that day and you cannot account for the money? I think
I don't know about. To be fair, I don't know about. I don't know about Abdullah being that. I don't think he was ever.
Oh, he's not that. He provided a service.
I want to be fair here. I don't know about that. But I mean, let's go to the main issue. All right. Mm-hmm. What about? I don't want to make you like a guest here tonight. I don't want to do that. We all talking. I don't want to make you a guest here tonight. But there's a president who promised to bring change to Liberia. So what change has Joe Baga brought? Joe Baga only brought change to her home. You're talking about George Weah building houses. Go to Joe Baga house now. They are facing a way that they can even have a whole church service. They can have a conference. They got everything in that place. They are paying people who he lived with for many years on that street. People who are selling the Liberian people that live market and things like that. They pay them thousands of dollars to get them off that part of the street so they can move from there. Go to that house now. That house got a whole conference center in it.
Yeah,
a whole conference center. But let them bring the other guys on.
Don't forget the security of our president matters. You expect free vendors to be around the president resident? Is that what you're saying?
All right. So, my young man, I have a laundry list of things to talk about with you. But first and foremost, does your party chairman still work in the Baga government?
30 seconds.
No?
Chief Ben, 30 seconds.
Go ahead.
Why is you were wearing on a shoe when I make my debut on yesterday?
I was here.
Okay, you were there when I'm making my intro?
No, I didn't hear your intro.
Yeah, so it is widely believed that folks on this platform may be, anti-government folks, right? So
I
as much as I
am.
am, okay, as much as
I
I am,
don't speak
I'm
for the
a
platform.
very full supporter of the United Party.
Oh, God.
I won't be sentimental. I won't be sentimental in addressing the issue. I'm
That's
going to be
true.
objective because
Okay,
the growth of our country lies in the hands of all of us. And in order
good.
for this country
So,
to move forward, we have to put aside our political differences
all
to
right. So
ensure that
let me
we.
reclaim my time now. Let me reclaim my time.
Okay, okay, no
Just a
problem.
just a note before I can move my stuff. Does your party chairman works in the Barker government?
Yeah, the party government do work in the government.
Does the Secretary General works in the Barker government?
Let me address the issue, right?
No. I just no, please. No.
Don't address that. Yes, sir.
We are not in a code of
Yes,
competence.
I got something to
No,
say.
we are not in a code of competence.
No, my brother. I told you before.
With direct answer. No.
Okay. You're not forced to answer me. I will just go ahead. So, since you answered to the party chairman, why does the party chairman still? Why hasn't he resigned yet? Why is he still?
Okay, yeah, is it right?
No. I'm not asking you. Hold on. I'm speaking.
No, but you asked me why you
So you don't have to answer. The average
God,
worker, you don't have to.
but yes, I don't want us to make having a guest.
That's why I don't want him to answer. I'm not wanting to answer.
I don't want to make him a guest on the show. He's not a guest. He's a panelist. We got others that are coming. So yeah, let's get to the topic, and then we can get to that. No, I don't want to defend, but we everybody must just come up. We don't want to make like he's a special guest.
So let me just end this. So let me just end this quick. And the reason why I made specific reference to those two people because the president fired people because of who were in citizen government of these same partisan sentiment, and they were still in the government, and he fired them.
Yeah.
So it is so mind-boggling that it's like, is he really doing this firing or hiring, or there's somebody that is doing it for him? Because you can be the same person doing these things and not knowing that, the reason why I fired these other guys is because I accused them of having partisan sentiment when they were in power. And I got my chairman and the Secretary General still, and they're working in my government, and they still have not resigned. What is wrong with us as a people? By the way, the inauguration form, the president fainting, the party chairman taking 1,000 for all poor money, 1 for all poor money, 2 for poor money. All of these things, no investigation, everything they're just doing the same thing CDC did. Nothing. They're just taking for the job and put another one that we will put. What is the difference, my brother? What are we doing here? I will rest. Jesus. I rest, guys. I'm sorry.
Guys, I'm sorry. I gotta leave here now. I'm going for my dinner.
All right.
Happy birthday to you.
All the
Thank
best, girl. Wish you all the best, Sarah.
Thank you.
Well, let's bring in and we want to welcome Anthony and Mr. Abraham Cannon as well, and Johnny. So we'll welcome everybody. Want to keep this going. Let's bring in Mr. Gabe first. Then we'll go to Abraham, and then Johnny will come in. Let Abraham, you've been following the show. You've been listening. I'd like you to chime in.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dad, and let me say good evening to all of the panelists on the show, and let me take this opportunity to extend my gratitude to you and the team for the enormity of sacrifices that you are making and continue to make for the betterment of our country. It is a pleasure and to be here this evening to have my input. Although this is, I think, my debut on your show, though we've been following vociferously, contributing, trending, and then calling in. But I think it's my first time appearing. I would say thanks again and good evening to all of you guys on this show. It's an interesting thing that you have a UPist defender here, but he's advocating all over the place, trying to shift all of the narrative on this platform. The issue, the trending issue in the country is it appears that Abu have been instructed to come here and divert. His ploy here is diversionary tactics. The fact that he's talking about this time with a trending issue, he's talking about turning position people, and he's trying to justify those things. I can tell you squarely, he's trying to drive this narrative into different direction. Because I heard him, he talked about, I will listen to the video yesterday, why you say Prina here. Definitely he's been dismissive of the trending issue about the PYJ video recordings all around the place. So I don't think you guys should be prepared to buy into that. By the way, Abu, those people you're talking about, they were not indicted. Your government removed the central bank governor without him being prosecuted for anything. And even the Terry law states that if you move the immediate boss, the second in line should act in that capacity pending investigation. You didn't follow those rules. You removed all of the commissioners. You have not taken them to court. You have those people in the temporary position going to a year now. And it's nothing for you. That's the reason why Senator Johnson was referencing the fact that you have violated all of the rules in our country with impunity. And it's evident by the recent MCC scorecard that the rule of law, you have failed in the death moment. And you still continue to prove it. So, my brother, you can't come here and try to educate us on things that we have fully cognizant of. But it's great to be here, guys.
Mr. Gay, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening to all. Good evening to our followers. And welcome on board to the gentleman who just spoke. Hey, listen, Liberian ought to know better, especially those that want to come on this platform to defend the government. It is your prerogative. Your opinion will be your opinion, but the fact remains. The thing here is that this administration, for almost a year now, has yet to accomplish anything of significance. No tangible to brag about, nothing to talk about. Speaking of the MCC scorecard, the Myean administration passed 14. They have a 14 passing mark. This administration have 11 passing mark, and they fail in the rule of law. When this president campaigned on rule of law, even the campaign agenda that they have, arrest agenda, one of the arrows stands for rule of law, and they are not following no rule of law. The president have violated the PPCC compliance. He's not in compliance with that. They say, oh, they have not violated law. I'm citing that they have violated the compliance of PPCC. This administration brought in 2 buses from Ghana that they did not test in Ghana, brought to Liberia before testing. That backward behavior. You're supposed to test the vehicle before bringing it to Liberia, but you brought it to Liberia before you test the vehicle. There is nothing absolutely that this administration can beat hot chest about that they have accomplished. They want to hang on Ethiopian Airlines returning to Liberia after 40 years since the 60s as an accomplishment. It's an airline. If the condition is not conducive for them, they can pull out of Liberia any day, any time. And the Liberian government have no power to stop them from doing so because it is a private entity. We don't own it. We don't have share in it. It is just a route that they found, important at this time to provide service. And Ethiopian Airlines is on a mission to service all African countries. Want to be the biggest. Currently, it is the largest African airline, and they're promoting their Pan-Africanism, which of course we support. But it is not an accomplishment. Whether or not JMB or any other Liberian president were going to be president, Ethiopian Airlines was going to come to Liberia. because Ethiopian Airlines is on a mission. That's one of the reasons why they have invested in the Boeing 737 new model. So nobody should take a victory lap because Ethiopian Airlines went to Liberia because of JMB. Let me just say this. Go on our website, follow that mission, understand that mission statement, and then you will know what they are up for. That's why they fly currently down to 140 destinations. So Liberia is not new to it. The only good thing for us as Liberian, it gave us 3 most travel days, Monday, Wednesday, and the Saturdays, that they're going to be flying to Liberia. It will reduce the ticket price. They'll be competitive in the market now. When you miss your flight, at least you have the next day flight instead of a couple of days flight. That's the benefit. But their administration should not take a victory lap. What they need to be embarrassed about is the president going to dedicate a dilapidated clinic that would not pass a public safety test.
Nope.
I have OSHA 30 license. And OSHA in America, that is a company for safety.
Yes.
You don't joke with safety. I'm OSHA 30 license. And I can tell you for a fact that building will not pass public safety test. Won't at all. And our president went there to the dedication of that. This is a man who spent over 4 decades in government. This is what you give the Liberian people. Under this presidency, Liberia is doomed because the arrest agenda has 0 policy. Now, policy is different from campaign, platform. Your policy is a document that you are graded by, that you are held account to, right? The agenda may be your thought process, but the policy are the guiding principle by which you execute your work on a day-to-day basis. So this administration have not given the Liberian people their policy. George, we are in 9 months, gave the Liberian people the PAPD, the proper development, the proper agenda for development and prosperity. I am not a seditious. I am an ANC bona fide member. But I can tell you for a fact, this time, 9 months into George Weah administration, they have the PAPD, even though they did not follow the PAPD, but at least they have something. This administration is making hero out of George Weah for no reason. At least George Weah never been a president before and was never a politician. It's a footballer who turned politician and, make those kind of mistakes. But you that spent over 4 decades of your life in government, and many of the people that you hire in your government have worked in government, in previous government. And up to this day, you still making rookie mistakes. I'm embarrassed to be a Liberian and to have a president in the 21st century behaving this way. Are you back my time?
Johnny, welcome. Good to have you. Glad you finally made it, but welcome. You've been following the show, Johnny. So chime in here, man.
So thank you, Peabody, Tomalin, and the rest of the guys on the team. I just want to sum up AB and the last speaker in the opposition. Few months back, the former government, President Weah, was considered as they were considered as a government on autopilot. But right now, it looks like we are not on autopilot. We're not with it. This flight has no bearing. It's just like flying anywhere in the sky. It turns left, it turns right, it turns north, south, east, west, anytime. From what I just heard the two fellows speaking, and they've been those things are reality. We are not getting the bearing. The last time I was speaking here to you guys, I gave this government 1 year. I want to see 2025 what would be the real policy, the real guiding principle as a government. Because it seems that they have no bearing. So I hate to compare the CDC and the UP because I've always said the two groups have no space anymore in Liberian political space. But it's giving us difficulty in the stand that the current regime is trying to is behaving in a way that the former government, the former regime of CDC is being credited again. And this is going to give a lot of us problem that don't want to see the both of them in the empower in the country anymore because they have exercised the best that God has given them in terms of talent and knowledge. And here where we are with Liberia. But again, every president we are was moving Liberia on autopilot. Where are we today? Because if you define autopilot, means that the pilot has set the bearing, the compass is set, and the pilot knows exactly the direction, the altitude, the height, what the plane is heading to. But right now, we have no autopilot because there's no bearing set. So the plane of Liberia can fly anyway, anytime. And story of this year to now, we all have seen the evidence. Forming government was a problem. You know, I mean, how can we as a nation, as a country that have political experience in many countries around Africa, we make mistakes like forming a government, going to Ghana to bring 3, 4 buses to come and tell us to bring in 30 buses, tell us to bring in 285 euro machines. That becomes a fiasco. I mean, you can go ahead and name, we all have been talking about those things. How can we have this thing happening now with Liberia? Besides that, I'm living in Monrovia. I always say, from my perspective as sociologist, Liberia is going down the drain because we don't have social order in the country. The country is in complete disorder. Every morning, every driving up, just traffic alone tells you that the cyclists, the automobile operators, they move on either lane. To the extent that the road is built and is divided into two with concrete. Because somebody does not want to go to the U-turn. They are pretty place to turn. They want to stay right there and just turn in the traffic and drive in the opposite traffic. That's lawlessness. And it's becoming rampant in the country. We have to take some action to ensure that the country is governed by law. Not only by going to court, but ensuring that people follow the rules of the country. And once we begin to apply the rules in the country, we start making progress. Until rule of law is given a priority in this country, nothing else will work in this country as we anticipated for this country. So, I want to tell my brother Abu, it's good to come on the show to defend the UP. I mean, for example, traditionally, I'm from Lofa. He's my uncle. He's a kissing man. I'm a Bandi man, right? Like I see my man Joma. Joma carry old man picture on his profile. Then he here dealing with old man here. I can't understand Joma operation. Benjamin, you got old man picture on your profile on Facebook. Then you only show you dealing with old man as though.
That's the psychology, you got to get in the brain of people. You see,
anyway, and people are going back to Prince Johnson issue.
To do that too. I need to have that photo.
Don't go for the old man. Don't carry a placard on your team. So, Peabody, my RA brother, Prince Johnson issue. I really thought I have a different opinion on Prince Johnson issue with regards to the way people address this issue. I was doing analysis of Prince Johnson personally, looking at when he killed Doe and his current age and what happened. Our country, we make people do things that are wrong to us. Let me give a small scenario. In 1980, when President Togar and the rest of the officers were killed, Liberians celebrated. We hailed Doe and the whole group. And there was a song sung in this country called Little More Bon Soldier, Bon Rogue. That gave President Doe and his people a kind of like support that whatever they did was right. In 1990, when the war started, when the war almost encroached on Monrovia, Liberians again raised their voices and said, "Moke, calm down. Call Samuel Doe Moke," thereby supporting the robbing faction that were coming to remove Doe. That motivated Prince Johnson to do what he did because he was doing it in the interest of the Liberian population that was supporting him. Everyone had turned against President Doe, supporting Prince Johnson and all other warring factions against Doe. Again, we come back to 2003 when all the factions have moved against Charles Taylor, President Taylor. Everyone celebrated the UNIMO, the Lair, the model, all the factions were celebrated to come and remove President Taylor again. And if at that time any of those factions have been successful to represent, we're going to have the same celebration. So people trying to hold Prince Johnson responsible. Yes, Prince Johnson did what he did. But again, sociologically, society compelled him to do what he did because of the way we responded to him. So I want to ask Liberian people, let's learn lessons from the situation. Right now, we have President Waka in presidency. whatever he does, however he manages us, we have to be mindful of how we respond to him so that we don't bring the country down into chaos. So I just want to bring this idea up, bring my view. Because, for example, 1990, Prince Johnson was 38 years old, a young, vibrant, energized man. 38. Because if he's 72 now, you shut out from 1990 to now. That means in 1990, Prince was 38 years old. Like any of us on the platform. You understand? You
Yeah,
remember
but
him, somebody
no,
38 years old, getting popularity. So wait 1 minute,
right.
and I'm almost ending, right? 38, and it was fashionable then. It was fashionable in this country to support foreign fashion against the ruling government. Like right now, it is fashionable now to support any opposition party against the ruling government. But we have to be mindful how we make our statements. And once making statement on fights that are existing here, yes, we must do that. So I got to bring the issue of Prince Johnson. People try to say, oh yeah, Prince Johnson killed, did that. But we also must take on, we Liberian people, the population must take responsibility based on how I just did my simple analysis on how we behave as a people when it comes to our response to our government. Thank you.
Yeah, let me come in here first. You just struck a point. That brings me to the next question I want to ask. Do you think, considering Prince Johnson's record, Prince Johnson role in the Civil War, should Prince Johnson be given a state funeral? I want you guys to comment. Does he deserve a state funeral? President Barker visited the family home, and he said the government he would be given a befitting burial, a funeral, and a state funeral. Should Prince Johnson be given a state funeral? This is the same guy that you plan to persecute for war and economic crime court. Should he be given a state funeral? Let's start with Jonah.
For me, I would say no. There is a part of me there that can defend a little bit of yes, why I think he would deserve it from other people's perspective. From me, because of all of the things that I've done, all the work that I've done, around Prince Johnson, it's always been for the war crime code, and to have him have his day in court where he could have come out and then free himself of those charges, because some of us knew that Prince Johnson didn't have the money to mobilize people. Where did Prince Johnson get these weapons from? They didn't just drop from heaven. People gave them to him. So we were looking way beyond Prince Johnson, because there are people who had money, who sat in their high places and took advantage of these guys who knew little or nothing. But we were wishing to have gone beyond those people. But when the TRC was crafted and all of the mistakes they made, the laws, how they were able to free Ellington. I mean, the whole thing started getting dazzled. But for me, personally, I don't want Prince Johnson to get a state burial. I wish I was on my show itself. I would say some other things, but I know they won't be right for this show, so I'm gonna keep it to myself for now. But I can see another thing I would say when it comes to autopilot, yeah. Right now, Johnny, they're in autopilot, but this one the car is going in a reverse. So they're in autopilot, but autopilot the car is still going from. But this one they are driving backwards. Thank you.
Yeah, but come in, man.
Okay.
Well, first of all, PYJ, take your liking or hating for the fact that he was a senator and he's considered a statesman. Liberian people elected him. In fact, he's the longest serving senator in our history to be elected multiple times. So he deserves a state funeral according to our ethics and our what's on the books. Why you think the former presidents have visited, gone to pay respect to his family for the fact that he may have killed a sitting president, but it seems like Liberian people elected him 3 times, and for the fact that he's a senator, a sitting senator, he deserves a state funeral like any other person who was elected to would have been given the same way. Today, you saw the Senate; they turn his seat upside down. They cover it until he's buried. That's a mark of respect. So, and in fact, state taxpayer money will be used to bury him. If I'm not spending a dime, the taxpayer money will bury him. We're getting a state funeral befitting as of a state man. That's how our country is. We accept it. If you say the man was this and that, why elect the guy? He's elected. But now today you see all the former presidents are visiting, paying the respect to him, and they are not saying bad things about him. Watch their comments. They're not saying bad things about him. Okay? Because the same man was very instrumental in giving Myean Sirleaf the presidency, even President Weah, even President
But
Boyka.
because we have, Hitler memorial, that doesn't mean that we can memorialize Hitler any longer.
That's our system. We gotta accept and respect it. Okay, you can be even the worst man. Once you elected, you're a state person, and you're not criminal. If Prince President have been convicted, but he's not convicted, he's being accused and atrocities, and all the governments delayed. They delayed this workaround code for years. That what got him today getting a state burial because of that. You think had they prosecuted him, he would have been given state funeral? No, but because they allow him to flourish and to decide 3 elections, that's why he'll be giving a state funeral. And I repeat, taxpayer money will be used to. They're not funny. If I'm not spending a dime, they spending a dime. They felt the body has struggled now. They would honor the cost. They will do everything. In fact, they already preparing the itinerary for the funeral. Already been set. He'll be giving a state funeral throughout, and they'll be giving a court. They will read the official gazette all on that day. The Liberia official gazette will be read to give it to his wife and his family. So that's how our system is. So maybe next time in the future, we'll learn to cut out impunity. We act quickly, and that's why we give state funeral. But before I end, I don't know. You're talking, Jenna, about the people at Jan. The project issue, they just came out with $8.4 billion.
Definitely the conversation. Then we'll jump to the next one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're fitting.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, Guy. Let me hear your input, Johnny. I don't know, Johnny. Want to come in, and then we go to Abraham and go to Mr. Gay.
Yeah, but I mean, Peabody, it's an obvious, answer to the question. Prince Johnson will be giving everything that befits is in this country. They will carry a body at the capital building. You will lie in state. They will have state funeral. And in fact, I'm hearing that they're going to be a monument in Nimba. You might not want to believe it, but there will be a serious a memorial program in Nimba. Probably may even become a tourism site where people will travel from place to go and see where this man was buried. This man that was so was talked about as this Liberian military expert. So yes, you will be honored. Let's be sincere with that. He's a state man, former senator, like Tomalin said. This man has been the major deciding factor in all our politics since 2005 to now. Everybody wanted him to be there. And the good stuff of it now that he's there, Nima is open now. So Nima no more a denominating factor in any election until Nima can have a single person that will replace Prince Johnson. And I doubt who will be that person in Nima in the next, for more years. I don't see who will be that person in Nima country. So that's the other side of Prince Johnson. Nima now is open to anybody. Nobody will tell you that Nima will give me support and I'll be the winner of the election. Everybody is open now. This is a complete new ball game and new political space created with the demise of Senator Prince White Johnson.
All right, Abraham, what do you think about that? You got to move. We're not hearing you.
Sorry. Yes. Again, that is a great question, and all of the answers that my colleagues are giving here, I think they are logical. And just so we know, like what Tomalin stated, post-conflict Liberia, or since the issuance of multi-party democracy in Liberia, Prince Johnson is the longest-serving senator in our country's history. And definitely, all of the auras that come with our state funeral, they're going to accord in everything. So even the people say, oh, he shouldn't be given a state funeral, is not just going to be practical. Because why? He's going to be like, they're going to put in the rotunda of the Capitol building. And people are going to, they're going to accord him all of the due of courtesy of a state man. So it's obvious that he's going to be given a state funeral, owing to everything that he has done in the country, especially with our post-war situation in our country. He's going to be given those things. But that just to close up on the issue of Prince Johnson, the dynamics of Prince Johnson's politics, and owing to everything with the revelation from yesterday up to today's date, he died a frustrated man. He died as a dejected man for a government that brought him to power. I mean, he brought to power literally, single-handedly. Mind you, this is a guy that made his county to vote 150,000 votes for the current government. And yesterday, they won by an infinitesimal, less than 1% of a vote, between 17 to 20,000 for give and take. And owing to the frustration that culminated to his death, I think it behooves this government to do everything to save face, to accord him a due courtesy. That's what they're going to do. But indeed, he died as a frustrated man. There is no if and but about it. That this man spoke like somebody stated on the show here earlier. I think it was Tomalin. No, it wasn't Tomalin. I think it was one of the guys that stated that by 6:15 Thursday morning, Prince Johnson spoke to a guy in Kakata. Less than 2 hours time, he was dead. Listen to that video, Dad, and you will understand how frustrated this man was. And that indeed it was evident by Senator Dillon's statement today. I really don't know the rationale of Darius Dillon's statement today, Dad, but he just threw his whole rescue mission and that of the vice president under the bus unconsciously. Because I'm yet to fathom the rationale of that revelation that he made today. But again, Dad, like I stated earlier on, let me not take all of the time. I mean, he's going to get the state funeral, definitely, owing to everything. He's historic. Be it positive or negative, he's a historic figure. Are you there?
Mr. Gay, go ahead, Mr. Gay.
Okay.
Thank you, Doc. I asked that very question on Ben's show. I heard Ben say he don't want to say anything here because we're on Ben's show, and I was actually trending out in the comment section, and I typed, should Prince Johnson be giving a state burial? And sadly enough, what he denied, meaning if not hundreds of thousands of Liberians, he will be given. Hundreds of thousands of Liberians was denied living that street scope on tent that he lived. Hundreds of thousands of Liberians got denied of having a grave he will have. Many of who have never even reached the status he reached. Some who have surpassed, we didn't know. But yes, he will be giving a state burial. That is the sadness of impunity. A government that had no function or that does not respect ethical principles and moral values. I hear people talking about, oh, we are control law. And even the very lawmaker made a law that killing people today called driving on a tail lane. They're killing people every day. Every single day, there's an accident with that nonsense called tail lane. And so, it is the messy truth of Liberia. A country that has good written laws on the books compared to our counterparts. But those laws are not respected. Those laws are not followed. So yes, the fact that he became a senator seals everything. Then you talk about a political influence deciding the fate of 3 presidential elections single-handedly. To this administration, they use the George Weah handshake thing to sidetrack their own insensitivity. The president, as old as he is, day 2 of the death of Senator Johnson, celebrated his birthday. Our tradition, Liberia is a traditional country, like it or not. Our tradition depicts that when someone of his statue, like Senator Johnson is, pass away, all major activities cease. Those that go on the farm start going on the farm. We are in harvest season now. No harvest. Everybody stay home. The whole place quiet until he remain is laid to rest. The man who made you president single-handedly, not even a week after his passing, you're going to celebrate birthday. When it backfired, the UP people came up with, oh, Joy, where this check in? Joy, where this check in? Who's crazy here? You did not respect the man who made you to become president. But you focusing on the handshake. George Weah is an individual. He chooses who to shake hands with. That is his prerogative. He has the ultimate right. Me nobody here go to church. Now everybody get hugged in church. That's not true. Some people you shake their hands, some people you wave to them, some people you hug them. I do the same thing. I shake some people's hand. I wave to them. Many people say I don't hug them because my suit most of the time they get makeup on it, and to remove the makeup, the dry cleaner can remove the makeup. That's the reality. Those that you go to dry cleaner, they can remove. That thing will be there. So I get made in my injury. I don't hug people no more. Right? But again, this is the way of the unity
My
party.
man, say I don't hug women. I say I don't hug women. Men don't wear lipstick. Say I don't hug.
Yeah, I don't hug women. But here's the thing, man. With propaganda, cheap one too. Not propaganda that will move that government forward, but the cheap one.
Yep.
You disrespected a man for celebrating your birthday, President Bouaka. But you want to focus on handshake. Yesterday, I was watching the show, and Ben and people were going back and forth with the handshake thing. I said, I wish I was on that show. Because where is the disrespect? The most disrespect is for a 80-year-old man to celebrate his birthday, a man who made you president, compared to George Weah didn't shake hand. So the UP people, I got good news for you. You are very deceptive to the Liberian people. You lied to the Liberian people that you came to change this nation. You put us in a reverse. We continue to go backward instead of moving forward. But thank God,
How many
you
will
have your turn now. You will have your time.
Yeah, get him 1 minute, and then you will come.
Yeah. So Liberia is not a binary political country. Meaning, if it's not CDC, then a UP. If it's not UP, that's CDC. CDC, UP have ruined Liberia. If you combine UP first 12 years, CDC 6 years at 18, plus another 6 years at 24 years, setting up back after the war. We're not going any longer. We're going to start moving forward. We're not crazy.
Last quarter of a century.
So yes, you will receive state burial, and Liberian people will pay for it. The taxpayer money will be spent because we didn't do our due diligence after the war to establish the War Economic Crown Code. So yes, he deserved it. He served the nation.
All right. Go ahead, Abu.
Yeah, thank you, Peabody. I have a wrong. I have some domestic issue to attend to. But let me quickly address the broader section that has to do with President Weah was president for 9 months. We did unveil his agenda, right? Today, Joseph Boakai, the president of our country, unveiled his arrest agenda for inclusive development. Well, that's a distraction, though.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. You're protected.
The president unveiled his arrest agenda today at the ministerial complex. And that agenda focuses on six key deliveries, right? The agribusiness has to do with boosting food security and creating sustainable jobs.
That's not policy.
Hello? Let's give him a chance. I'm telling you, let's give him a chance to talk.
I just told you the president unveiled his arrest agenda today at the ministerial complex. And what prompted this section is because when I was leaving the show, he said 9 months of President Weah administration, he unveiled his pro agenda to the people of Liberia. Today, the president unveiled his arrest agenda, so they get that right. But quickly to Prince Johnson, this president is not the one who had a birthday celebration. This president, prior to winning the presidency, he had a foundation, the GMB Foundation. If you remember vividly, 2017, when we lost the elections to the CEC, this president went to Lofa. He did some assorted items to the people of Lofa. I think our Lofian brother is here. He invalidated this information. And when President Boakai, the then former vice president, when he lost the election, he went to Lofa and he identified the people of Lofa. 2022, this president identified the people of Magibi. He supplied, I think, few medical facilities there with drugs. So for somebody to sit there and think that the president is using taxpayer money to sponsor a foundation, I think that's being disingenuous to the poor Liberia.
The same foundation that they could not register in the Rhode Island that didn't have money a few years ago.
Did I hear you see?
The same foundation or GMB that could not be registered in the state of Rhode Island, like the one we're talking about.
Regulation though.
GMB Foundation.
1 minute, I can show you pictorial to substantiate that this foundation we're talking about.
When he was not in leadership, the foundation was struggling. Now that he's in leadership, the foundation all of a sudden blossoming now.
Gee, you gotta give me a chance. I just told you, I just prove it contrary. That this president had this foundation prior to assuming the responsibility as president.
We know that
this foundation identified with several communities across Liberia, and will have pictorial to substantiate my assertion that I made.
Yeah, but they were struggling. They could not even register the foundation in Rhode Island, the state of Rhode Island.
That's speculation, though. That's speculation.
So okay, the president.
Let's do one at a time because
the president's personal birthday compared to a statesman who passed away, a man who single-handedly brought him to the presidency. His personal birthday, he could postpone that because the man passed away before the day of his birthday. Even if 1 million people outside of Liberia decided to celebrate the president's birthday, does he have a conscience to respect a man who passed away?
Give me a platform to speak. I'm not a guest. I'm one of the panelists on the show.
Yeah, but I asked a question. You responded to what I said, right? You implicated me into your expose. That's why I'm responding to you. No, you implicated me into your expose. That's why I'm responding to you.
Yeah, but guys, let's do it one at a time. Because
the foundation not having money to restore in Rhode Island. That's what he said, and which is not true. I said that's a speculation. And from
that's not speculation. We have the document.
I got given a chance to talk. We can't be
exactly. So like I was saying, right? There is in every table. Nobody knows when it's going to pass. When Johnson died, we immediately saw the vice president going to the facility, the medical facility. Senator Johnson died. Immediately when he placed call to the president, what did the president do? Did the president visit the resident of the late senator? He did. And let me let you know, prior to the president's birthday celebration, that event was not organized or was not planned in a day. It was planned in a week by people who manage his foundation. So how can you say that the president was clueless to celebrate his birthday, noting that somebody who can be there to him becoming president was not respected? That's wrong. You should not say that. The president visited the residence of Senator Johnson and will have pictorial evidence to substantiate that.
Peabody, please, 30 seconds, let me respond to this guy. Because we are on the radio in Liberia and also on a platform here.
Exactly.
There's a global view, right? So let me just say this to you, my dear brother.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not the program was planned 1 month in advance, 5 months in advance, optics matter, conscience matters. Liberia is a traditional country, and His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boaka, the President of the Republic of Liberia, also is a traditional man. He understands tradition better than I do, right?
Mm-hmm.
The birthday was scheduled, planned, granted. Life is a phenomenon. Nobody plans, nobody knows when another person is going to pass. This man who single-handedly brought you to the presidency is now gone. You pay homage to his house, to the people, granted. Then 2 days later, you celebrating your birthday. You're not a child, you're not a baby. You have celebrated your birthday so many times. Can't you wait until his body is laid to rest before you celebrate his birthday? Because that is our transition. That is our tradition. No, right now in Nimakana, nobody going to the farm, nobody doing none of them, none of those activities. All of those activities cease per tradition. Can you think about that?
Well, let me come in quickly. Let me come in quickly. So Abu.
Listen, choose about
so Abu, let me get
tradition. Yeah,
no,
Anthony, I come in.
Abu.
Just give me 30 seconds. Just give me 30 seconds. Just give me 30 seconds. When somebody dies, a traditional society like ours, what do you do as an individual? I think you sympathize with the family, isn't it?
Correct.
I think you sympathize with the family, right?
You are correct.
Didn't the president go to the late senator resident to sympathize with the family? He did go there. So what is the issue? Where's the video?
Yeah, listen, man.
So Abu.
Let me just come
1 minute, please. So Abu, there's one issue that we need to understand, and like Anthony said, Liberia is a traditional community, and President Boakai is a direct beneficiary of traditional values. So, like for us in Lofa, every other ethnic group sees the Kisi as our uncles, and because of tradition. So the Togar tradition, besides even Johnson being a person who led to his presidency, in as much as Johnson is a senator or was a senator, and he died, he's a member of the government, right? What happened? Whatever is planned to be done in that period, that issue is suspended. I have that experience many times. I work around the various communities. Sometimes I have program planned. The township, the elders already receive me. Sometimes I arrive in the town and there's a death news. My program is halted immediately. Nothing happens. They will say, look, Johnny, we sorry. We planned that you come today, we do this thing, but we just lost one of our elders, one somebody from the town, so we cannot hold the program today because the whole time is bereaved. Meaning, Senator Johnson tells me that Liberia is bereaved. Whatever has been planned for birthday celebration of the president, I believe the advisor will have told the old man, let's suspend this program. Whoever is invited, let's write there and ask them, look, the state is no, understand. The state is bereaved, so we will suspend or cut this program off until next year we can have a better celebration next year for the president. But to do this, I mean, it doesn't show sensitivity to society.
Yeah.
If you are sensitive to society, these are issues that you have to respond to, right? So, look, for example, if you Abu are coming to my house, Abu I'm with you, you are traveling from the US coming to come see me. Abu arrived today in Liberia. Tonight, I lost a sibling of mine. So do you think the program you keep on to me, we should still hold it?
Yes,
Do you think we should still hold that program that you came from the US?
scenarios. There are two different scenarios. The program is an organizational. This program is an organization. I got organization program.
No, Abu, the program is in the honor of the president. It's not away from him. It's in his honor. He's the honoree. So the honoree decides that look, don't hold the program in my honor. Let's suspend the program. It's not done outside of him. It's in his honor. Let's be fair, Abu. This is not about politics. This is a real social issue now. Let's discuss this as Liberians so that the younger generation will learn to know the social values and will teach them. Whenever you have bereavement, even in the neighborhood, someone died in the neighborhood who is bereaved. Most people will never go to work on time. You gotta go first and see what's happening. And most people are putting in excuses that my federal officer look, my neighborhood is bereaved. That is common thing for us Liberia. So I just thought that the president would not have allowed those guys to run that program. If it's a mistake, let's see that's a mistake. Next time we play and do it better. We should not be arguing it. We should not go back and forth with that. I think it was a social error we made to have that program here right in the midst of President Senator Johnson there. Thank you.
Let me just bring Robert on. Let me bring him on right now. And then too many will come back to tell us about the 6-year development plan launched at $8-something billion that the rescue mission provided. They can't even
crazy, man.
Yeah,
crazy.
But yeah, is it that you had a party and you have government officials from the corporations donating thousands of dollars of taxpayer money to go to President Foundation. If that doesn't
program
something to you, then I don't know what you say. But let's bring in Robert. Robert, welcome and thank you.
Robert, the other way you were doing it vertically. Yeah, that way.
Yeah, it's much better. It's much better.
Okay. Well, look, it's good to be. It's good to be.
Phone because you see a phone, right?
Yeah. No, I am at home, but my laptop is all over the place right now. But listen, it's good to be on, and it's good to see Anthony on. I love to see different perspective. It's good to see Abu on. I know I threw a little bit of challenge to him yesterday, and it seemed like he came a little zooted up today. But it's good to see everyone. Good to see Abu. It's good. And so now I spoke to all my friends from United Party today. They said, "Oh, so the show is no longer an opposition show." I said, "But who told you the closing argument was an opposition show? You guys are the one who ran from the closing argument. We're very balanced, and we encourage diversion of views and opinion, and it can be expressed fiercely but respectfully. But listen, I a lot of people who know me know my position when it comes to Prince Johnson. I have a lot of friends from Nima County. They know personally my opinion and my view of the man. And this view is not particularly towards Prince Johnson. It's towards characters of his kind. And I have not shied away from bluntly stating, how I feel about killers. And so since his death, if you notice, I have not responded. I have not made a post about him out of respect. My mom always says, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. And so I do understand why people from Nima County see Prince Johnson as a hero. I understand the politics that is involved. I know that a lot of people are listening on radio today. I have particularly and intentionally not given my opinion on this situation because I don't want to say anything ugly. But here's what I will say, and I've thought about it. I understand why Prince Johnson might be viewed as a hero to many of my friends. Look, my best friend, my best man in my wedding is from Nima County. He has a different view when it comes to Prince Johnson, and I respect that. He knows where I stand. I personally, and I will say for the first time on national radio, I would not have had any quarrel with Prince Johnson had Prince Johnson went after those who particularly and specifically went after Nimadians. I do not think that no one, president or not, I do not think that no county in the Republic of Liberia deserves what some of the people of Nimba went through. And as a Bassa boy, and I believe that a lot of Liberian, decent-minded Liberians in this dispensation, in this century, understand that what bonds us is not our ethnic state, it's not our tribal affiliation. What bonds us is the fact that we're all Liberians. And so I will look out for Anthony, even if Anthony was not from Grand Bassa. I will look out for Dr. Peabody, even if Dr. Peabody was not Grand Bassa. If he was being discriminated against, if he was being attacked, I'll look out for him. The issue that I have with a lot of these warlords is the fact that they killed people that had nothing to do with the vicious and inhumane attack on the bodies. And Prince Johnson is no exception. And I've asked this question many times. Why did Prince Johnson not specifically go after people who went after Nimadians? And I have not gotten an answer to that question. Prince Johnson killed innocent Liberians, some of whom are my friends. People who had nothing to do with the attack in Nimba. Do I support what happened in Nimba County? Do I support a sitting president? By the way, I want to be very explicit. Samuel Kayan Doe's daughter is a personal friend of mine. She also knows where I stand when it comes to President Doe. Do I support a president calling on the Madians to flee Nimba County even though they had nowhere else to go? Is that a justification of what happened? No, I'm not going to go deep. It's a deep thing in our country that we have not come to a realization of how to reconcile. And so I understand. But I cannot with good conscience and as a decent human being sit on any platform and say, well, Prince Johnson is my hero. No, he's not. Nimadians have a reason why. And I know a lot of decent people from Nimba who supported Prince Johnson for standing up to their suppressor. But I know a lot of decent human beings who also did not condone the fact that Prince Johnson separated innocent families. Prince Johnson made young boys and young girls grow up without fathers, without mothers. And I'm sure those who were particularly affected in Nimba County by the actions of Doe and others can say Samuel Doe and others made them fatherless as well, motherless as well. And I won't blame them for that. But I cannot sit on any platform anywhere and encourage the brutality across board. There were 250,000 there were thousands of innocent Liberians who were impacted by this war. I'm included. I came to this country when I was 13 years old. Went to high school, college out here. God bless the heart of my parents and the heart of good human beings. But I also was not granted the opportunity to grow up in my country. I can't speak Bassa. Had I been in Liberia, if it wasn't for this senseless war, I would have learned how to speak Bassa. I'm not proud of that, but I'm still a proud Bazzolian. I'm still a proud Liberian. And so when you ask me about this topic, I don't care much about Prince Johnson, but I respect the fact that there are families who care about him. There are daughters who care about him. And I respect the fact that they're grieving. But I want to buttress what Anthony said. And I wish Abu was here. There is absolutely no justification for the president's action. If look, this was a man who helped the president got elected. And I will say this. Had Prince Johnson supported CDC, this election would have been won in the first round.
Yep.
And Joseph Boakai and Unity Party knows this very well. The fact that Prince Johnson did not support George Weah gave a political lifeline to Joseph Boakai. The fact that Prince Johnson backed him was a significant political advantage for Prince Johnson election. Even though Joseph Boakai did not have disconnected with Prince Johnson, he had not spoken to Prince Johnson. He had not, you know, and you know what? I have a different opinion on that. But when the man is gone, my brother, if it was someone who you respect, if it was someone who played a part in your life, the decent thing to do outside of just going to the house and expressing your grievances is to honor him by hosting any festivity. And you know what? You can blame the foundation all you want. But again, the foundation is in Joseph Boakai's name. Joseph Boakai can call the shot on this matter if he wishes to. Joseph Boakai could have said, let's postpone this honorary. We can have the birthday party another day. This is not the first time we celebrate a birthday party not on the birthday. It happened all the time. But this is an indicative of who Joseph Boakai truly is. This is Joseph Boakai true self, my people. And Abu knows that. You see Abu smarting? He knows that. But he has a difficult job to come on national radio to spin this issue, to convince Liberians why Joseph Boakai had to do this. As if, had this party not taken place, Joseph Boakai would have died. No, this party could have been postponed, but he did not. But this is who Joseph Boakai is. He's a user. The Unity Party is a user. They are users. They use people for their benefit, and when there's nothing there to affect them, they move on like nothing ever happened. This is who they are. This is who they are. And I tell you, a lot of my friends are UPNs. One of my best friends is from Unity Party. Joseph Boakai is like a father to him. And so this is who they are. But do I think that we have other important issues to discuss? Of course I do. I will respect the grieving families, and I respect those who see Prince Johnson in a different light. But me personally, I will hold my thoughts on what I think about this, because I do not want to say anything that is nasty, even in the period of death. I do not. And normally I won't care. I will not care. But we as a country have got to come to a place where we move forward. Those who played integral roles and parts in the destruction of our country and the backwardness of our country, we deserve better. We deserve a country where we, in this generation, can move our country forward. We deserve a country where justice can prevail. Where those who got us into this mess can have their day in court. They can answer to the atrocities that they caused. We deserve a country. And if we cannot get that country, the least we must get is an opportunity to move forward. And so I will hold my thoughts on this whole Prince Johnson business. But when it comes to Joseph Boakai and the party, that all the time you can have party can wait. If you respect the man and his family, they could have postponed that. Thank you.
So with regards to the party, in as much as I will blame Joseph Boakai, I will blame that guy they call Jeremiah Cone 200%. Because Cone should
I think you should call him respect, though. He's a sitting vice president. Call him guy.
You can add that title there for me.
No, he's a sitting. He's a statesman.
Please respect. I don't see him like that. So just respect my wish. This is I'm not in Liberia, so where I don't call people titles. No, I don't call people titles. So Jeremiah Cone being the one who, like, this is my father. It was through this man that I came to this place. Even if Boakai is being insensitive, all Cone should have done, called home and say, "Oh, Papi, I'm on the mat." That's all. But you have to go and show up, and with this and laughing like nothing happened. I think that was just below the belt. But in fact, this is the same Joseph Boakai who was in America and gave excuse to receive his own certificate when he won the election. Wasn't that postponed? Have you forgotten that? UP? Have you forgotten?
Ben, listen, that's a valid point. But again, you guys have said it all, and Robert stated it. The insensitivity exhibited is just mind-boggling. Now, Coon, just a day or two, he was at Prince Johnson's house, crying, weeping, yelling all over the place. Now, the government under Joseph Boakai, for my dear brother, young brother, to come here and state and give justification that it was the work of a foundation. Who owns the foundation? It's Joseph Boakai. Not from my understanding. From my understanding, even the National Oil Company, people were taxed, I think, minimum of $1,000 to contribute in the tune of almost $20,000 to that foundation.
Nobody was taxed.
Hold
on 1 second, please. So I've taken over the show now. So let's speak. Let the audience, let the gentleman speak, and then Abu, you can respond, and then we can go in circle. Please, let's not talk over each other. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Robert. Again, like I said, my understanding, Abu, it's up to you to come and get justification on whatever it is. That's the role you are playing, But again, we are addressing the issue about insensitivity. This was not a legislative enactment. It was mandatory that that occasion takes place that particular day. You have a man that single-handedly brought you the presidency you talk about today. And then to sit somewhere and merrymake. Especially you have Jeremiah Coon, vice president, gracing that occasion. Pray tell me, marriages are arranged by organizers. If a married couple, the wife or the bride or the groom, immediate family passed on the day before their wedding, you think consciously they will go and grace that occasion? They will postpone that wedding. This was not at the legislative enactment. Again, let me state that. For you to spend a budgeted $100,000 occasion, Abu, it's insensitivity. And you can't explain it any other way. Now, but because the Unity Party, their notoriety of politicizing everything and trying to cover up situation, they are running with handshake situation. Handshake has nothing to do, it's not impacting the life of anybody, it's not insensitive to the plight of Prince Johnson's demise, but your party is a high level insensitivity to that occasion, Abu. So until they can get it right, they are on the wrong trajectory, and Liberians, and especially Nimbayans. That's the reason today, all of the recording of Prince Johnson's own voice is being aired all over the place, and people are scratching their head today, to the point that Darius DeLong had to justify or testify today that Prince Johnson was on his knee begging him for a job for his daughter. How do you explain that? Now to come again and say, oh, but they gave a Nyenwolo job? No, they didn't give them job. George, we have made sure that Prince Johnson's daughter worked at Salamina. She was at a lucrative position there. It was never publicized anywhere. But again, you got to be conscious of reality, and you got to be appreciative. But everyone that has associated with President Boakai, they got something to say about ingratitude. And it's evident that all of these things, you can't be insensitive to sensitive situations.
But Ibrahim, you said it right. The ingratitude started from the CPP.
Wow, can I come in? I thought you said you had one time.
Yeah, but Dr. Peabody is back now. But go ahead, Abu, respond.
Go ahead, Abu. I'll get you. I will let you respond. Abu, go ahead, and then I'll come in. Go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead, Abu.
Yeah. Why is true? I am an exuberant, youthful supporter of the UP. but still does not take away my independent thoughts in addressing issues. You talk about Joseph Boakai exemplifying an inhuman act by celebrating his birthday. This birthday was organized by his foundation. When you recall vividly 2023, when Boakai was announced as president by National Election Commission, I mean last year, just a year ago,
Foundation got money.
there were people. Maybe people I don't want to. People I don't want to.
Go ahead, brother.
No, go ahead. Don't get distracted, old man.
I used
again.
Ben Sanvee on yesterday as case study about Garguah who is in studio. When you have an elected position, more especially in Liberia, you got more friends. People befriend you because of a position. So for you to believe that because Boakai was elected, for you to believe that people will not celebrate Boakai, I think you're getting it wrong. You talking about being a hypocrite? I'm not a hypocrite. If you want to talk about hypocrisy, people who sit on a show condemn President Boakai for attending the birthday dinner or birthday program, whatever you maintain it, we have a traditional society in Liberia. Then let's go by the judge. We are declining a handshake with the sitting vice president.
But answer the question for them. We can talk about judge.
When the traditional,
let them confuse the man. The man, let him go ahead.
Exactly. When the traditional society we live in states that somebody has taken a handshake, you reciprocate that handshake with the same handshake. The president will do that. He didn't do that, and we witness it. Somebody come in and say that we should talk about it. We should not. It don't worth elevation. It worth elevation because his statement. He have followers giving the result in the past elections was fair. You know Peabody after the election was back, and you saw what happened. You saw the margin won the election with. And it is believed that the country is divided. So if you go to an event of church and you feel to shake hand with a sitting vice president, what does that say to your followers? Your followers will even learn that example. Even for me, at times action, I have a proclivity to even continue to create animosity more.
All right. Let me come in and then I'll go back to Rabo. So, look, let me say this, Abu. We're not babies here. We're not just born 2 or 3 days ago, or we're not born in December when Boakai won the election. We know how financially challenging it was for Vice President Boakai.
Very stranded.
Yeah, we saw on many occasions where President Weah had to rescue him, Mr. Cummings had to rescue him, and all of that. President Boakai was right here. They said man can't talk all, but I'm still a very close friend to Stanton Weatherspoon. We talk every now and then. I'm still very close friend. And they said man can't talk all, but I know how many trips we made to Delaware at the Airbnb, where you have Costa in the kitchen preparing beautiful meals and things. I'm not going to go farther, but I'm just telling you what I know. So for this foundation to just get up and be a $1 million foundation with right after election, we all know what it is. People are giving money for kickbacks. People are giving money for different things. All right. But what I'm saying is this was the same thing you guys ran on President George Weah. You guys sat there and condemned President Weah for everything that he did. When he built the park, when they put President Weah picture up on his birthday, you're condemning, you're made issue of the air, it was all over the place. And for you to be in government 40 years and to say you are politically mature, you know from the in and out of government, and come back and even doing worse, it's a complete deception. You know, and to me, he only ran to kind of solidify a retirement benefit with Liberian people and Waller Joe Boakai, a luxury retirement benefit, and that's why he's enjoying it there, because he have done nothing to change the situation. everything was George Weah when he won the campaign, or President Weah. President Weah, for us to sit here today and see this same old stuff taking place right now. I mean, even more luxury. The president just had three other parties the other day. They had a luxury party for Mrs. Bwaka on her birthday. They had a big party. The president had this huge party to her yacht. If you go to that yacht now, it looked like a conference hall. It had been rebuilt. So what my Liberian said, he took over, he fixed his house. He spent minutes. Liberian need to say that because I want to say about George Weah. So he took over the house that he could not renovate. It was renovated in a second. The next thing you're using that, that president, your president need to be protected, blah, 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 blah. So then, what are we saying? President Weah is not the president now. It's Joe Biden the president. He ran because he said that President Weah not doing the right thing and he could change it. Almost 12 months. Give me a chance. I gave you a chance. Give me a chance. And over 12 months into it, what are we seeing? Corruption at the highest level. And that's why I agree with
corruption. I use triple RC case study. Are you not aware that Patrick Woolsey was suspended? And he has been subjected.
Why you fooling us?
Man, that's been program. You be talking points.
I think how substantive issue to discuss. On today, the president of Vigo and West Virginia. Let's discuss that.
We will come to that.
Listen, Abu, man, let me
agenda ban. What are you talking about? Policy
just a
agenda?
minute, real quick, man.
Go ahead,
Robert, I beg you, just a minute. Just this thing Abu keep talking about. Patrick Woolsey was suspended under the very George Weah, the housing authority management. They were suspended, prosecuted, and in fact dismissed under George Weah. But yesterday, you guys say he wasn't fighting corruption. So what's the point here about this LPRC? I mean, triple RC you keep talking about? George Weah, he removed the entire management of the housing authority.
Okay,
are you aware of that?
So let me have
the DEA investigation. We don't even know what happened.
Let me have Anthony.
Let me have investigation. If the outcome of the investigation was submitted to the president out there, are you not what I did?
What in the investigation?
The investigation informed the president.
I wouldn't go there, man.
President to replace.
Robert, go ahead, Robert. Go ahead.
So I will have Anthony 2 minutes, and then Ben next, and then we'll go to. Hold on, guys. Hold on. No, let Anthony go. Ben. Then after Anthony is you, and then we'll go to Johnny. Go ahead, Anthony.
So, my dear young brother Abu and the Liberian people, when an investigation is launched, it's for an inquiry, and so that we can know what happened, and so that the public can be informed and people can be disciplined for their action if they are held liable. Okay. The issue with the drugs at RRA and other places was a big deal. And Fadiga was saying a lot of things. The investigation went on. They submitted a report to the president. Almost 5 months into it, they got dismissed. We don't know why they got dismissed. We do not know what led to that dismissal. They got dismissed. That's all we know. Taxpayer money was spent for the investigation. You brought a asset recovery team. No hair, no tail. You understand? Listen. The president is driving a $500,000 vehicle when the University of Liberia is dilapidated.
It's closed. That's the right word.
Currently, as we speak, the National Police do not have vehicle in 14 counties. LMP. No vehicle. Now a single one in my county. And the entire southeastern region, not single vehicle for police. This very president is second national budget now. Can we brag of national security of Liberia? And our borders secure? And our people safe? Liberia is one of the unsafe nations in the world. Don't take my word for it. Google it right now. Right now on your phone, on your gadget. Very unsafe. this administration failed the MCC. Honor the rule of law.
Yep. Very
the
important.
Rule of law. The very president, he was then president-elect on VOA, and brag about setting an example. You know what he did? When he came to Liberia, he took a drug test. How many people have been rehabilitated, taken off the streets? You think we are here to joke? You put a guy called Patrick Hanna at LTA on the commissioner who does not understand telecommunication and paying him all that money. Is that what we're here for? If we are serious Liberian, we must hold our lawmakers and our elected officials and government appointees accountable.
30
You
seconds.
can't travel around the world. Look at Africa right next door. The same sun that shines in Liberia shines in Ivory Coast. Same rainfall in Liberia falls in Ivory Coast. The national budget last year, 17.9 billion. 65% of that 17.9 billion that came from agriculture. This very president, the only degree he has is in agriculture. Where are we? Liberia possesses up to 46% of the rainforest in the entire West Africa. Don't take my word for it again. Research that. Look, we don't come here to joke. We don't come here to talk about party talking points. We come here to inform the Liberian people about what can we do to move our country forward for every Liberian citizen to have an opportunity to strive. Working in government should not be the only hope. In fact, we should discourage working in government and encourage people to grow the private sector. But guess what? The government and the central bank now working together because we need fiscal and monetary policy that will work hand in hand. So individuals can create bank accounts so they can trust the banking sector.
Thank
So
you,
they
Ed.
somebody have a money, they don't even want to venture to carry it to the bank. Because guess what? You go to the bank and say the system down.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, Ben, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Anthony. Well, Abu is a very interesting young man, and I love. When I see Abu and I see my men from the CDC, they just make me happy because they just make my case. I just leave the two put and argue all day, and you will just know the difference of where we are. So for Abu, it's like a criminal who saw a bank, somebody witness of robbery, and he went up the hill and he called the police and said, "Oh, I see a bank. I see robbery." While the police coming, he goes to the bank, he takes a share and put it in his pocket. Abu, if you are listening, what is the difference between you and the robbers? And you went there and then took your share. Because you called the police, that doesn't mean that you solved the problem. Because Joseph Walker fired these criminals, that doesn't mean he solved the problem. The problem is still there. He only do these things just to fool the Liberian people as if he is doing something. But no, all of these crimes that are being perpetrated against the Liberian people, the only reason why you see Joseph Walker does not punish them is because he's also in on the money. He's getting his share of all of these corruption. And I think that is the only reason, because if Joseph Walker was not in, all these guys should be in prison now, should be behind bars. Show some difference. So that people say, oh, this is what George was doing, this is what I'm doing. As far as I'm concerned, if you are a blind person, if anybody told you that this was UP government, you would never believe it. You would think this government is still being run by CDC, because everything CDC left in place is still in place and nothing has changed. Thank you.
Thank you. So, what's the name?
Abraham?
Eh?
Abraham Cornet?
Mr. Cornet, get 2 minutes and I will go.
Yeah, Rabo, I appreciate it again, man. Sometimes when people come here, we are at a point in our politics that whether we like it or not, the issue of a comparative analysis will have to come in. Literally, this country is drifting into a two-party state, I mean, unfortunately, that's not what the framework of this current constitution or democracy stated. But there, where we are drifting, predicated on that, we will have to make those comparative analysis. The immediate past government and the current government. And all of those things that we talk about today, Robert, if you walk the street of Monrovia, you conduct a survey among 10 people, 9 going to tell you that the question bears, is your life better today than yesterday or a year ago? They emphatically going to tell you that it's worse today. No if and but about it. That's the reason why, even though the government-friendly platform that used to send their people in the street to conduct those routine survey, they stopped doing it because it's slapping it right in their faces. You understand? So definitely, we will have to make those comparative analysis. And the point where we are, the very rescuers, the so-called rescue missionaries, are the one that telling you that things are not going as anticipated. It's nothing that people are making up here. Just a few hours before this very Prince Johnson died, he explained a litany of things that is very frustrating, to the point that he even stated in his own recording that President Bouakai has no contact to do anything in this country. That to the point that President Bouakai, because he has violated all of the rules of the constitution of this country, investors will find it difficult to pour their monies into that country. And that's a rescue mission. In fact, the rescue mission grandfather, he stated that. It's not ordinary, it's not ANC president or not Anthony Gay or Robert Garguah stating it. The very missionaries are the one that telling you today that life is just not going the right way. Things are just not going the right way. Now, for people to come over here continually and make those justifications, they need to be okra with the past. They need to be very cognizant of how it transpired in the past. You're talking about, every time, yeah, Bravo, I call it Bouakai is fighting corruption. He dismissed people. Yes, George, we are dismissed people. And I just told you that at the housing authority, to the point that they put cough on the people they hand, some of them. So what are you going to say that? The central bank, they apprehended people and prosecuted them on the George Weah. It's not a question of people defending George Weah or not, but you have to do this comparative analysis. And it's important that we continue to educate the people. And when people come out and try to politicize situation, it's incumbent upon us to lay the facts up there. But Robert, it's great time. I appreciate the time that you give me.
Thank you. Listen, let me say, Dr. Peabody, what's the next topic? Is there anything else we're going to discuss?
Not really. We just got to finish, continue this maybe because we have to 7:45 to be out of the radio. We should almost be I think 12 or 1 o'clock there. But okay. pretty much that's it, Rob.
Okay. All right. So listen.
I think we got to end on the 8.4 billion nonsense.
Oh yeah, I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, to give them the benefit of the doubt, maybe Robert, we can get in, but we just, if we continue on the deceit, Robert, you can take over, but it's just that we've seen the deceit. We saw what happened to Mr. Cummings right in the very face of Joe Bouakai, where somebody that helped you, giving you money and everything, you had the audacity to go to court and say you don't even know him, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so but that's who Joseph Bouakai is. Let's look at, people don't like the guy, but look at Henry Costa, for instance. And people who don't really know, Henry Costa did a lot.
Of course.
Henry Costa did a lot for Joseph Bouakai. A lot of people didn't think that it was a great idea to even support Joseph Bouakai the way he did. He literally put his own advocacy on the line to support Joseph Bouakai the way he did. Mind you, a lot of his friends at the time were not even supporting Joseph Bouakai. I know this, and you may have a disagreement with the guy, but I think he stood on principle and what he believed at the time. He truly believed that Joseph Bouakai was the change Liberia needed, and he went to war for Joseph Bouakai. Look at how the whole VP vetting process was handled. Look at that. A man that you refer to as your son it reminds me of how he intentionally did not, or perhaps he lacked the ability to really assert himself leadership-wise to bring the CPP to the table. You had Alice Cummings, you had Ben Ayure, you had all these guys, and you had the so-called most experienced elder in the room. Under his watch, I would have thought that was an opportunity to rescue the CPP and unite the base of the opposition at the time. But we saw what happened. We saw what Joseph Boakai did. So here in Coastal situation is reminiscent of what the whole Prince Johnson situation is. And trust me, I don't even want to mention this fellow name because every time I does something with Amen, gets really mad. But that's who Joseph Boakai has proved to be. He used people when it's necessary and dump them when it's no longer necessary for his own personal benefit. That's who he is. That's exactly who he is. But I don't want us to get distracted by all of these trivia things. If we truly focus on the bread and butter issue, when it comes to what has changed under this new administration, Dr. Peabody and Ben and my elder brother, Conan, it tells you that this government, and I will use this word and not lightly, because I remember a lot of my friends, and mind you, I'll say this, a lot of these Unity Party guys are very smart. Don't let this stuff fool you. There are some young, smart, progressive young men that supported CDC. Some of them today are working in strategic area. I will mention, and I will give a shout out to my man Stephen Johnson. Stephen Johnson from the
very smart guy, yeah, very good guy.
Great guy. I mean, they're doing a great job over there, right? Of course, more could be done, but these guys are very smart. I won't sit there and say these guys are dumb, right? But if you look at the tangibles, and you looked at all of the plans, should we still be talking about Joseph Boakai launching arrest today, almost 13 months into his administration? What are we talking about? When the arrow in arrest, not even been respected, the rule of law.
Somebody got to mute.
Have not been respected. When you look at the budget, $0 has gone to tourism. The T in arrest does not reflect in the budget. $0 of what was given to the Ministry of Information, Culture, and Tourism, Ben, $0 is given to tourism. 90% of that goes to the Ministry of Information. $0 is given to culture. So even when we're talking about how do we get the private sector going again, how do we begin to set the foundation for tourism in our country? Look at the budget. So what are we even talking about arrest? When the budget, Joseph Boakai budget, this is his budget, does not even reflect his own agenda. So this is a vindication for George Weah, if you ask me. Wherever George Weah is right now, if I was him, I must feel good about myself. Because these guys can argue within this, about the same time. You may say that these were mediocre things. Parks were being renovated. Parks were being not renovated. Parks were being dedicated. Homes were being dedicated, not renovated clinics. Think about it. You had some things going. Definitely, the legislature were functioning in at a better rate as it is now. So when you look at all of the issues, the economy, what has changed with regards to the economy? Conan was talking about, is your life better off today than it was a few years ago or a few months ago? A lot of Liberians will tell you no. I spoke to a business owner today in Liberia and he said, Robert, we're so happy because this Christmas, from the 1st of December, it looks like it's going to be great. They are making more money now. And one of the questions we've been pondering on is, how can we make the month of December and January consistently across the board from January to December in our country? Because businesses benefit more. But who's bringing all this money back home? Diaspora Liberians bringing all this money back home. How can we do that for our country, for our economy? But what is the president plan when it comes to diaspora investment? What is in it for us? When it comes to Atlanta, they can't even reach out to the people that even matter. When they go to different places, they're doing their own political thing. At the end of the day, I will say this and I will close on this note, Doctor. A lot of people who supported Joseph Boakai are even surprised. They won't come and say publicly, but they're shocked. Because Joseph Boakai has not led. On every issue, Joseph Boakai has failed. On every issue. And I know, Abu, and please, Abu, this platform is for everyone. You bring somebody else who can help buttress some of your arguments. But I like you. You know what I mean? I like you. I just think you are caught in a lion's den. And it's difficult to maneuver, because I don't want to just criticize Joseph Boakai, Abu. I want to commend him when necessary. I commended the Ethiopia airline resumption of in Liberia. I want to commend great things. I'm not just here to criticize the president. I want him to succeed, because if he succeeds, Liberia succeeds. That's my attitude. This was the same attitude with George Weah. But Joseph Boakai is making it difficult for his own government to succeed based on the decisions he has made. And so I like the fact that you are pushing these political narrative, this partisanship, the partisan narrative, but it becomes difficult. You know, my friend George Lobo would have argued back down on the closing argument. It's difficult to defend Joseph Boakai. It's really difficult because of the decisions he has made. And so if election was held today, Abu, I'll let you come in. Do you think Joseph Boakai will win the election if it was held today?
Absolutely, yeah.
Election?
Oh, yeah.
Or you think Joseph Boakai will win election based on the economy, on infrastructure development, on corruption?
Robert, you have failed to acknowledge. That.
So what will make Joseph Boakai win today? Tell me one thing that will make Joseph Boakai win today.
Because of the exemplary leadership he has inculcated over the
for waiting 3 months to decide on LDA, even though the report has been on your desk, you call that exemplary leadership? Are you kidding me?
Robert, listen.
Robert asking what is the signature accomplishment of the administration? That's what you asked.
That's what I'm asking. What will make him win election if it were held today?
The investigation conducted at the LDA was a composition of people from a very few.
But it was on his desk. Doesn't matter who. I'm not worried about who conducted the investigation. When a final report has been put on your desk, and you said that drugs is number one on your agenda, and based on what happened 3, 4, 5 months ago, you would think that this is an urgent matter. So what took him so long to decide on this matter then? What took him so long to say, you know what, I will dismiss the LDA boss and the deputy, and I will nominate someone else? What took him so long?
Brown, they need the president. They need the president at appoint OIC while the investigation was ongoing.
I'm talking about that was pending an investigation. When you say exemplary leadership, tell me one thing that will make Joseph Boakai win today based on his leadership as deputy.
When Joseph Boakai assumed the responsibility as president, what did he do? He first declared assets and publicly, unless the then president did not do that.
Okay, so what about his about his lieutenant? Anthony Wade.
That's not true.
But we know it's not true. But listen,
the president declared his asset and publish it.
That's misleading, Abu.
Abu,
give you no break. Did he publish your asset?
We're not talking about we are talking
Hey,
about.
it's not a
So
question.
hold on.
Make
This
the
is
right
about the comparison
statement.
between Myean
Robert
and
asked a
Guar.
question. Robert asked a question. The question Robert asked: the election was
Mhm.
being held today. Will President Guar be re-elected? Isn't it the question you asked,
Yes.
Robert?
That's the
He said
question.
yes.
And
I said
what are the
name one
barometers
thing that
you're
will make
using?
him re-elected today.
I just mentioned one. I told you that when Guar is soon
Exemplary leadership.
yes.
So give me
You
an
declare
example.
assets so you win. Is that what you're saying?
Example. Come again.
You say you
What is
declare
the example
assets so
of
that will
example?
make you win?
I said in the spirit of transparency, you declare and publish it. I said. That's what I said.
At what point? How many months of token?
Did the president probably answer?
No,
But he
at what point?
violated the code of conduct. Said declare your asset prior to taking office.
Did
He
the
violated
president
that clause.
You're not Steve.
Okay, Amy, let me speak. So,
Yeah, then go ahead.
Here is why I feel so sorry for AB there when they try to justify so many things. Look, let me tell you how Burger does not love himself. And I'll make it easy. I'll make it very easy for you. Look, every one of us care about our health. So when something happened to you, you be very careful and then you want to find out what happened so that it doesn't happen again. The report when the man almost died on his inauguration day, that report we yet to find out. Zero.
The inaugural report, yes.
Don't forget the inaugural committee comprises of the outgoing administration and the incoming administration.
No,
yeah.
Chair by whom?
That was a
Chair by whom? Question, chair by whom?
Talking about?
Team Maswa came here.
No.
Represented the government.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about?
Look, there's a difference between the turnover committee, and then they had the committee for that program. It was run by who? That lady family.
Nyata family.
Look,
yes.
The president almost died. This is a health hazard, a health crisis. Up to this time, we don't know whether he had asthma, whether that was heat, whether that was old age, nothing.
No, but let me just tell my brother Abu a few things.
I'm sensing personal aggrandizement though, because when Ben said the president does not love.
Hold on, guys. Let Abu respond.
How does the president not like himself?
Abu, go ahead. Let Abu respond, guys.
Because you said the president does not like himself. How does the president not like himself?
Because up to this time, we yet to find out. We yet to know. I mean, what actually transpired on that fateful day. Can you tell us what happened?
Probably you were here when I stated earlier. I said being an exuberant, youthful supporter of the UP, it won't sway away my independence. When there is wrong, trust me, I will acknowledge that.
What? Name one year.
Listen to me now. Listen, Chief.
Hold on, guys. Let Abu respond. We got 5 more minutes so we can close up.
The organizers did not do well.
Okay.
The organizers did not do well. To be honest, I did attend the inauguration. They didn't do well. The planning was very poor. And trust me, the president did not like the idea. Well, it's up to him. He's the president. I don't dictate to him.
Napkin and a bottle of water, said the president.
Give me a break. I don't dictate to the president as to when to act or when not to act. Here's what I said is. Yeah, when to act or when not to act. Somebody say the president does not like himself. This president, when he assumed the responsibility as president, being very conspicuous about eradicating trust from our country, what did he do? He availed himself for drug tests, followed by the vice president.
Okay, wait. You know what?
How does taking a drug test address the drug issue?
It shows like you're passionate about eradicating drugs. You as a leader.
Hold on. Abu, hold on 1 second. Abu, 1 second. We're about to go. We got only 4 more minutes. So let's take 1 minute each to do our closing. And then we'll start with Ben. Since Ben was speaking. And then
Bravo, you guys did not do well. agree that all of us have our individual, side. But today, like I stated earlier, the president of this country unveiled his arrest agenda for the next 5 years. I think it was fair to the audience that we would discuss maybe 10, I got to allocate 30 minutes of our time to discuss that.
Okay, we'll discuss it tomorrow. But let's do our closing because we got to go. We're off radio in 5 minutes. Ben, go ahead and take 1 minute to close, please.
So,
then we'll go to Abu and then Anthony.
So, with regards to the drugs issue, that was the biggest joke ever. So, what Joseph Boakai did over there, you call that drug test. So, how does you testing for drugs? How does it stop people from using drugs? Have you guys asked yourself, what were you trying to achieve?
Ben, you're close. You're closing now. You're close.
Yeah, I'm closing. Why do you like the whole process was so flawed and it was so crazy? Like you would have taken that time you guys wasted. Probably you should have used that time to just collect few of those kids, carry them somewhere, and then probably give them some antidotes. But my brother, when you test somebody, who is accusing Joseph Boakai of using drugs? Woo! Joseph Boakai can't even drink. They say he can only drink palm wine, and we don't have no palm wine test. So he will always pass. Thank you, guys.
Yo, Anthony, go ahead. You're closing, please.
Abu.
Yeah, bro.
Starting to prep you real good tomorrow when you come here or any other day, or they can bring the best arsenal they have in that storage, right? We don't come to joke here. Working leadership is leadership. Whether or not you work in private sector or you work in public sector, the fundamentals of leadership remains the same. If you're a good leader in the public sector, you will definitely be a good leader in the private sector, vice versa. That's the bottom line of leadership. You understand? There's a 30, 60, 90, 120, and Robert know what I'm talking about in leadership. You understand? So, all that 40 years of experience, like Bremen can say, there's a black. Jack, they don't know. He was a role player. Let me use a basketball analogy here, or a sport analogy. He was a role player who played a role in various ministry or agency very well. But he is not, this president of the Republic of Liberia, Joseph Boakai, is not a leader for a country. He is a role player, and he played that role very well in those various ministry and agency he worked. That is the reason why he finds it very hard to move Liberia in the direction Liberia needs to run. This administration launched something called an agriculture program for 5 years for Liberia to start rice import by 75%. Mind you, about 90 to 95% of the rice currently on the market in Liberia imported. Then you're telling me not 10, 15, or 20 years, but in 5 years time we'll reduce rice import by 75%. I just told you, as soon as I said that straight, I wrote right on the comment and said, this is a complete joke. We do not have the infrastructure in place right now. We do not have the equipment, the mechanized farming function and everything. You're talking about 75% rice reduction import. Stop joking with people and don't just put anything out there because you think it sounds good. You make yourself more embarrassed than any other thing. Tomorrow we'll hook up. Tell them to send somebody good, or maybe they should prep you tomorrow good, because when you come back here tomorrow, I'll be here, and tomorrow my schedule will be the same schedule that I have. Free. I ain't got nothing in the world. Once my people go off, then I can go into the data center and do what I gotta do. But for now, I want a free fall. So I'll be waiting for y'all.
Abu, go ahead, close your
Yeah, thank you, Rabo. I think, like I said, there is an honor to be on this platform. I don't buy into the speculation.
We'll always protect you. Don't worry, we'll protect you.
Yeah, I don't buy into the speculation or the insinuation out there that this platform is squarely for anti-government folks. Yeah, but quickly to wrap up, like you said, give me 30 seconds or 1 minute. This man, Joseph Boakai, is passionate about returning this country to normalcy. You can tell from his actions since he assumed the responsibility as president. We took over a country from an individual who desecrated almost every fabric of our country. including the foreign service, including the health sector. We will have a here instead of calling on hand on deck to ensure that we eradicate it. He went in place his photo on some of those podcasts. And you are aware, Robert, on how the COVID. So we were from a president who left this country for 40 some more days. So in order to restore dignity to the presidency, it requires more than 1 year. So for an individual who did not support the president or come and say that the president is proceeding wrongly, I think that statement is induced by personal aggrandizement. But again, I was thrilled by the changes. We can move like bro forward in spite of our political differences. Yeah, I think it was a good show. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Corner. Go ahead. Close. Your 1 minute.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Robert, and thank Dr. Peabody and thanks to Tomalin George for affording me the opportunity to debut on your show today. It was a great show, healthy interactions, and then very educative. It's a good thing that we are playing our part from across the aisle here, and of course in the diaspora we are contributing. It's important for all Liberians to do that. Look, the thing about it is that when I emphasize the issue about comparative analysis, you had a government that came in. The economy back in 2017 was in a free fall, to the point that they couldn't even afford to pay for at least 2 months of salary in that place. And they managed to stabilize that. And they brought some sanity to the fiscal responsibility of that government for 6 years. You have your government, the United Party government now, that did not have to encounter such a problem, to the point that even the reserve that was left over was way, way above what they left for the past government. So those kind of fabricated things that when people come over, try to literally portray to the people continuously, I think we need to erect those checkpoint and educate the people about it. It's not a question of whether somebody defending CDC government or the United Party government. It's the reality that we are speaking to, And again, Boakai will have to do the right thing. This government will have to do the right thing. Trust me, when they're doing the right thing, we will point them out. Innovation leads to invention, old man. Because a president at the time was innovative as the reason why you got a military hospital today. Because a president was innovative as the reason why you...
No. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. I don't want...
I will get it with Joy closing. I will get it.
30 seconds.
No, we're closing. We gotta go. We gotta get up radio. Go ahead. Finish. You got 30 more seconds.
Yeah, I will. Tomorrow we'll continue the thing. Trust me, I think we are very much equipped to withstand those kind of challenges. No problem. You can bring the debate on. But again, like I stated, when you are innovative, you think about things. You say, "Oh, I will invent it. I will produce it." Those are the things that culminated to even the very VIP terminal that you got today, that you deprived the mayor that erected, you closed doors in front of him. It was just innovation. He taught it out. For 12 years, your past government did not do that. So to come and sit there, you think about, somebody desecrated the country in its entirety, that's manufactured politics, lies you're talking about. We will not sit around and allow those things to go with impunity. It has to be an answer. But again, Robert, it's a great thing, and I appreciate the time. My dear brother Abu, when you've been around for a little while, you will understand the dynamics of some of these things. But again, we are not trying to subordinate you to things, but we are trying to only erect the checkpoint and speak the facts. But it's a great show, guys. Thanks for the time. Man.
Listen, I'll turn over to Dr. Peabody, but I'm loving. I've been getting a lot of calls for the past few days. So we're seeing some new faces on the show. And this is good, and I said, yeah, that's a good thing. We're seeing some nice faces, but this is the closing argument. We don't run from the issues; we confront them, and it's great that we have different minds on the show. Strong minds. Opposite minds. That's a good thing. So to all of our Unity Party buddies, you can come on the show and make your case, make your point. Let Liberians.
Rabbi, you didn't invite your best friend Lobo to come here.
Yeah, that was about a different topic.
The
man won't come. That long story there. but come on and make your point. But listen, I will close by saying Liberia is all of our country. We love that country. Sometimes it gets really, really frustrating, but that's our country. We don't want to retire in America. I know for a fact I don't want to be 50 years old before I go back home. I want to return energetic, with lots of business ideas, grow in the private sector. But my mouth is so big, I'm not going to depend on government. I'll speak my mind. You know, as long as my livelihood is not in anyone's pockets, I'll speak my mind. That's the kind of thing that we want in our country. But we got to speak truth to power. We got to be honest. And again, if this government does anything right in the interest of our country and the people, we will speak truth to power. We will commend this government. But so far, almost 13 months, it's been the same old, and even worse. But it's great that this is happening. So the Liberian people understands that elections do have consequences. Elections have,
Yep.
and you have the power to make the biggest decisions in your life, and that decision can affect your livelihood. And so I'm glad that Liberians are experiencing what they're experiencing right now. But it's a great show. Always great to see you guys. And Dr. Peabody, it's over to you, my friend.
Yeah, God, thank you so much for coming, every one of you. We intend to be very diverse here. We're bringing people, coming and let's talk about the issue. But one thing I will say here as I close is that the rescue team was not really a rescue team. They were just coming into it because they have been broke for a while. Everybody hungry, and they just
Grab and go.
Yeah, so that's all. But we saw the president taking over. The first thing, he putting all his close family into key position, all his clansmen into top position where he would benefit from mostly, especially the central bank, finance ministry, and all those places. But that's a whole new bolster. But guys, have a good night. Connor, come back. Join us tomorrow, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Sure, guy. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the invite, man. I will find the time, man. All right?
All right.
Okay,
Thank you, guys.
Man.
All right.
Take care now, Abu.
See you.
All right.
Ria TV, True FM.
Ria TV, True FM.
On Ria TV.
Into True FM 96.1.